strange and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Here, go ahead and do your intro.
Tonight, we are going to be discussing a Mickey Keating film. Tonight, we are going to be discussing Scaricon. And tonight, we will have a special guest in the form of Jenny Isme. All this and more.
That was exactly my intro from last week.
Tonight, shut up, Dynamo, and sit down. And
mic.
welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 194 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. It's navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we also have awesome guests join us in studio. Jenny Isme is here joining us to make our show a little bit classier and a little bit more awesome.
Oh, you don't have to build me up like that. It's just going to be a disappointment in the end.
Well, it's better than any of these jamokes.
She is the most requested return panelist of all of them. That is 100% true.
I'm blushing.
All right, we are live right now, episode 194, and we have a good show. Well, hopefully, if one of these guys doesn't mess it up.
One of these guys. Why do you what the fuck, man? Why do you continuously lump me in with this guy? Look at him for Christ's sake.
Ravenshadow, what's going on?
Yeah, why? Is it because I'm finally well dressed? I have a full hair on my head and I wear fucking shark slippers and knock fucking microphones off? Is that why?
Do you see me wearing my shark slippers tonight?
All right, the one.
MonsterZero, he obviously watched the movie. It was a link, so
Yeah.
cut him a break.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Don't fucking worry about what's true or not. What are you, the fucking departed?
Did you stir the sauce for that pizza?
I didn't have to. Another fucking guy did it.
The other guy?
The other
The other
guy?
guy.
It might have been a lady. How do you know?
It could have been. That's fine.
There's a couple ladies that work there.
They're fully.
I don't.
Jenny.
Or it could have been
women
transgender. They're
can
pretty hot now.
Can stir the sauce too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's all new
It's
laws now.
Equal opportunity sauce stirring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny. It's not 1955 anymore.
Yeah, I'm the one that correcting you, you idiot.
Well, I'm just helping you out.
Jeez, thanks. If that's the kind of help you're going to offer, I'm not going to ask ever again.
People are different.
Yes, they are. Some are idiots and some are awesome.
You and
Is it wrong that I want to die?
How's that cancer coming along?
Not
you
fast
with
enough.
You with your goddamn
Like, why can't it be in my brain?
Cancer.
All
pick
my
up.
ears.
your Bosey headphones, man.
Bosey headphones.
Wait,
you
David-
fucking Balls Mahoney photos.
Hey, David Bosey.
He wants.
up.
He needs those headphones because the other ones mess up his hair.
Yeah.
No, pulls my hair.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised you didn't go with that, MZ. When you had the
What?
opportunity, like a little Balls Mahoney eulogy. Like, I think maybe the most underrated.
Well,
worker
you know,
of,
there's still the introductions to do. And,
VCW?
I can always cover that when we do the introductions.
Wolfie told me to tell him to rat you out if you ever had an open beverage on the table again.
Yep, and I have one tonight.
And he's got one too.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. What are you doing with that?
Drinking it.
Why don't you get a fucking bottle?
Why don't you get a fucking bottle?
Why don't you get Flavor Sensation? It's delicious. It costs $1.
Just go fuck your mom.
Look at Jenny. She's such a professional. Look at this.
My God.
It's got a cap.
That's fucking.
You know what?
That's fucking Factory of Terror style,
You know,
right
she
there.
doesn't
That's how
need
they do over
She
there.
doesn't need a ginger ale for us to look at her. You know, I mean,
Why don't you slow it
all
down?
things be
Shut
fair
up,
and true.
babe.
Why don't you go in the back?
What? Don't call me babe.
Why don't you?
You like how it feels?
Not from you. It doesn't
Listen,
feel
kid.
good.
And I'm talking to you, MonsterZero.
What?
Kitten.
Kitten.
So, Jenny, you want the job?
Whose job is she taking? Yours?
Well, I don't know.
We're getting a cat.
Wait,
You
is
getting
that
a
the
cat?
job?
No, but I'm getting a cat soon. Getting a kitten.
Jesus Christ.
I feel for that kitten.
No,
What are you
the
gonna
kitten's
call
gonna be. Right now, I want to name him Edward Scissorpaws.
Please do not get
Don't-
his claw.
don't do that.
Don't get him declawed.
No, of course
Okay.
not. Of course not.
You
Don't-
just get like a polydactyl cat with
don't
all
do
the
that.
million toes. My cat has 8 toes on each front paw. They're insane. They go all the way around like a boxing glove. They're crazy.
Tiny and I have one of those that lived outside of his house. We called it Mutant.
All right, let me go through what's going on tonight. MZ kind of covered a little bit in the intro.
When he copied my intro from last week.
Oh, you
almost
big
verbatim.
crybaby! Stop your whining.
People like when you do outrageous things, MZ. That wasn't very outrageous.
Well, what do you want me to do? Pull down my pants and fart into the microphone?
No.
It's a start.
Not with Jenny here.
Yeah, slow it down.
You used to be so handsome. That's what I'm not sure.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm a train wreck.
I didn't know it at the time, but you were a good-looking guy.
Well, well, thank you.
I think your fashion left a little bit to be desired. but-
Yeah, double sweatpants.
Yeah,
he used to
Double
wear
condoms.
he used to wear cut off sweatpants over sweatpants.
Sweatpants. I've still never seen anyone else.
Yeah, he's the only person ever to do it. Cut off sweatpants over sweatpants.
That was
What
me.
the fuck?
I was making a statement.
Help.
All right, so we're going to review the flick Darling. This is directed by last week's guest, Mickey Keating. And then we're going to talk to JV and Alex, two of the promoters, two of the men behind Scaricon New England, which will be coming to Springfield, Massachusetts, June 3rd through the 5th. And yours truly and maybe a couple of the other guys will be there.
Maybe me, Johnny, and Jenny. That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
It could also be Pop Goes to War record.
It'd be what?
What?
I'm
What?
sorry.
Pop Goes the War record?
Can you say it without food in
Listen,
your mouth?
I just bounced a check for this recently. So I'm right now.
I'm sure someone would have picked you up some Kit Kats.
Maybe. Did you see
Or
the new
Reese's
Kit
or
Kats
whatever.
that they fucking have?
No, what are
They're
they?
like thick.
Ooh, thick cats.
Is it like more cookies or is it
I don't
extra
know.
chocolate? What's
Thick
in
cat?
there?
They're like I don't know. It's big though. Not like one of the 1 pound ones that I fantasize about.
What if it's just storage space, like extra air in the middle, and there's nothing in there?
Well, wafers.
Well, then you can
Wafers?
sue because
Wafers.
that happened to somebody just recently where they bought a Kit Kat and it was completely devoid of any of the wafers inside.
Oh, I'm not
So
buying
they
that
sued.
For a second.
Yeah.
You know they have
Not
porn
for a
on the
minute.
internet, right?
Oh, I sure do.
So you use it for
My right hand is very aware of it.
All right, so that's what's going on for tonight. And
Feel that. Huh?
You know, I hear if you switch sides,
don't
it's like a stranger.
Don't embarrass yourself, dude. Jesus Christ.
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah. She's moving away.
Oh my god!
She's moving away.
Show her the tuck dance.
And she's
No, stop
and
stop
she's
talking.
and she's on my show with Patsy, so that's bad.
Jeez, man. All right, so anything new? Anything
Oh, that Reese's
exciting?
was delicious.
It was a good, yeah.
You know what disappoints me? I didn't care initially about not being able to do my wrestling list a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But like I
Yeah,
feel
you're
like
bitching about it on the
I
on
feel
the
like I
internet.
was just ahead of the curve on all this Joshi love, and
It's
now
not really all that
now
much.
everybody loves Joshi.
I don't
There's been
know.
like 4 memes in 3 days that have popped up.
The dinosaur that Mario plays with?
I'm with him.
That's
that-
Yoshi.
That is Yoshi. I couldn't think of it. But like, yeah, lots of Joshi on my list. I felt very
I think it's
progressive.
Joshy, but
I think
Yeah,
it's Joshi.
I'm
only going by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, though. What do those guys fucking know?
nothing.
Nothing. If you go by that list, they have a very good choice. Roman Reigns, number 1.
Number one?
I think he
Ugh.
was.
Disgusting.
Dean Malenko was number 1 once, though, so they were just fucking giving it away.
Go, Dean Malenko. This show sucks.
I'm just gonna take a nap. You guys can wake me up when we're doing the review.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
It's good.
She's wearing a hat, but sure.
No, I can see your hair.
It's good.
I see her in real life. She doesn't just crawl out to stand near you once a month.
Well, I'll take what I can get. To be fair. I call that a win.
So, Mars, you and
Yeah,
I, we appeared on Talk Without Rhythm with our buddy El Goro.
We did.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I really like doing shows with you.
Without other people?
No. That's not the only reason why. I just feel like it's there is a teamwork, an inherent teamwork between you and I, or me and Tiny, or you and Tiny, that I feel like is one of the reasons that I wanted to do this show. That though the show is morphed into something allegedly better,
What the fuck, Ravenshadow? You watching a video about a pet specialist?
How
normally,
the fuck do you know that?
Because I can hear.
Normally, you wait until our guests are on to look
Christ.
disinterested and
Yeah.
bored. Like,
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
a
And
new
you're
level.
And
a
you're
new-
taking that kind of information from Dynamo of all people.
This is a new level of disinterest for you.
Well, no, he was talking about Tiny and you, and I just didn't
care.
care. I just didn't.
You know what I don't care about is you talking, so I'll turn your mic down.
He was giving you your privacy. It seemed like you were having a moment, a private three-way bromance
No.
minute,
Thank you,
and he
Jenny.
was just stepping back.
Am I fucking old? Doing a three-way. It's like 1997 calls. You
Right.
just fucking pretend that I'm here.
I still have
do I hear something?
I still have chemistry with MonsterZero too. I'd love to do more shows with him.
Yes, and
This is the most amusing thing I've ever done.
Yeah,
What are you doing? Stop doing it.
listen, Ravenshadow, I wouldn't think about adding another movie to your workload since one is so.
Listen, you
turbulent.
don't even fucking know what's gonna happen next.
All I know is
I
that
talked with Jenny outside.
I mean, I'm confident. He promised me he had seen every second of this movie. He took detailed notes. He,
Yeah, right.
He
You know.
analyzed.
He analyzed it.
Yeah.
maybe.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of anal. Who's next, Johnny?
Jesus Christ.
Which our show's gonna be different, Jenny.
Yeah, you're gonna watch the movie for the show
Yeah.
for that show.
We're gonna watch Goodfellas.
No, we'll review movies we've never seen. That's our gimmick.
Yeah, you don't have to
that's
watch
just
the
about every
movies.
movie on the planet with him.
Yeah, he
I'm
does
gonna review fucking Avengers Infinity War. Treat.
Avengers 5, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, all that.
Our review of Star Wars 11 is going to be earth-shattering.
Oh my lord.
Oh man, let's
Luke
not
runs
talk about
amok.
Fantastic Four.
Soft spot, yeah.
Yeah, Nicholas chased me up a tree today. I think he's one of you for real. I don't think he's a real person. I think he was specifically put here to try to like raise my blood pressure.
Nick Collin.
Oh, he did. So yeah, go check out. Do you remember what episode that was, Dynamo, of Talk Without Rhythm?
I do not.
All right, I'll look it up.
Though it was historic because we were on the last episode where
Oh yeah,
Talk Without Rhythm was part of the Drunken Zombie Network. So
I was kind of sad. I was getting a little misty at the end, but I'm glad that El Goro's gonna keep it up.
yeah,
Yeah, keep going, even without the support of the network that he's been on for several years.
yeah.
So it was episode 315. We covered Fighter in the Wind and Rickadozen.
And that was the Rickadozen review.
Yeah, it was hardly a review. It was,
May have been the nerdiest of nerd.
yeah.
Because like we didn't just talk about wrestling, we talked about the politics of 1950s Japanese wrestling for a long time. So,
Indeed, we did. It was a good time, though. So everyone go check out episode 315 of Talk Without Rhythm. We hung out with our buddy El Goro. And Mars, do you have any other... you all done with your very prolific week of podcasting?
yeah, I think so. I mean,
Actually, talk about you're on Unchained.
yeah, that was awesome. I get confused by my show, so I don't know. They're the one show that airs like in proximity when they recorded
Right
it.
away,
So,
yeah. It was episode 70. Justice will be slurred.
So so for some reason I feel like I'm always like an episode behind on them, but I'll catch up now because I won't listen to this one. But
That was a fun episode, though. You were on with K-Dog, Kyle Bachman.
yeah, I like his name, Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Yeah.
Taking care of business,
He
me and
is,
K Dog. Yeah, it was really, really good. It was I think it was the conversation that Ravenshadow wanted to have on our show. Like it was a little we weren't rushing about Batman s Superman.
5.
No, I've changed it to S for personal reasons. But like yeah, I have to see it again because every time I talk about it, I get more and more irritated. Like I find less and less value in it, and I remember less and less things. Like someone was it on this show that they brought up the fact that Wonder Woman could have fucking grabbed that kryptonite javelin?
Not here.
No, I think it was someone.
No,
Someone said
Unchained?
Someone said Lois Lane could have on
Right.
Unchained. I think, or
Yeah, somebody recently, maybe a show I was listening to, like totally like to steal a Ravenshadow is Superman's just a stew-nod. Like,
No, I would never say that.
No,
B,
but not that you would say Superman, but the stew-nod. I was trying to be.
Yeah, but can't Wonder Woman just fucking fly? Why is she not flying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not
She
sure
can
about
fly.
that. That's the least of my problems. Like, why didn't you just take that fucking jab? Why didn't Superman go, here, this will kill them, instead of flying over like a big dumb jerk and dying?
Because he's got fucking hot.
Not anymore. He's dead.
well, and
Spoiler alert, he gets better.
I love that
Not for nothing.
that Henry Cavill is posting photos of him working out for Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, okay, spoiler alert.
I am concerned
whose
about
phone
his.
is that?
I am not me. Fucking
Shouldn't be
MonsterZero.
mine. No, it shouldn't be mine.
No, it's got fucking Transformers.com is the new fucking Optimus Primal fucking 99 JPEG fucking version with swivel arm fucking Talon. 'Cause he's fucking 42 years old. No, I like your toys.
I
She's
can't
good.
imagine what product that might describe.
That's weird. It's Jenny. It's not easy. I am concerned about Henry Cavill's hairline.
Okay, why?
That's actually fair.
A little bit of a widow's peak going on.
Well, look at
Well, it could have been Phil Collins, playing Superman. For
Yeah,
all
but
we know.
Genesis is
Whoa!
the Man of
Nick
Steel.
Cage was gonna fucking play Superman. You
Yeah.
want to talk about it?
No, totally. And
Yeah,
as
with
much,
long hair, no
Yeah.
doubt.
as much as I want Superman to be Italian, he ain't fucking Italian. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
well,
it's fair.
look at Connery. I didn't know until I was like an adult that dude was bald for a long time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
right up into the Bond films.
They could throw a hair, a hair weave on the guy and make it look real.
I'm just concerned.
And where were
Spend
you
$8 million
today?
CGIing individual hairs. I mean, they don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
They can't even make a fucking
What's fair?
doomsday, let alone a fucking hairline.
That's fair. I'm just saying.
Cy
that-
Sperling could have made a better doomsday than that. And Ravenshadow, one more thing.
What?
Where were you today? Somebody was fucking dumping on Fantastic Four,
Where was
and
it?
you
I didn't
weren't
see-
there to defend it.
What the new movie?
No, the
Just in
quote
general.
the quote was that the source material must be shitty because the movies are bad.
I didn't see that at all.
I see.
No. Fucking fuck you. Not you yet, but
We're getting there.
it's a matter of time, I suppose.
Yeah.
No. Not only the fucking, even if you want to discredit the Kirby Lee stuff, which much respect, but the Byrne stuff,
Byrne stuff is amazing.
Walt Simonson,
Yeah.
Louise Simonson, hell, even
Mark
the fucking
Millar there?
not so much for me, but for me the Paul Ryan
Yep.
era.
Sure.
Lila,
R.I.P..
the Skull, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, like Johnny Storm running amok, flaming on, blowing up, fucking.
In retrospect, and maybe not like I'd say around what was the crossover that was going on while New Warriors was happening, and like the sidekick, the Spider-Man sidekick crossover.
You don't mean the various Infinity?
I think it was an
crossovers.
Infinity thing. Like right around that time, all the books started to like really suffer. I would say, except for Peter David's Hulk, but like
Fair.
it got less good. But that book was good for a long time. Like that book was good from like George Perez 19.
Tom DeFalco.
Yep, 78 to then it went right into Byrne and was good with Paul Ryan, like all these things afterwards. J.M. DeMantis in the early 80s, like
Yeah.
like real good stuff. Like I just don't like I hate to like you. I think I love you because you are a minority. Jenny Isme.
Thank you, man. Dynamo.
Oh.
Oh, he's
I thought
talking
he
to
was
you.
loving you too.
Me, for a moment, I've been waiting since 1997, but I guess
It's not gonna happen.
Wait,
talk
why
to
do
the
you love
girl.
me? What did I do?
It's that you're not insane. That like you see the forest for the trees.
I mean, I'm also not a big Fantastic Four fan, though.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say that a book that lasted for until recently, right? So like 56 years or something like that.
I can respect the history, but I'm probably not going to read it.
But you don't know that it's good because you didn't. It's a hard thing because if you're not interested, you're not going to read it.
Right, and not just that. Like, but she also, I think, more to my point, She doesn't not like. I feel like a lot of people say it's like the internet has a weird backwards honesty. They're like, I haven't read this, but it's awful. Or I haven't seen this, but it's terrible. Yeah.
And I think the FF argument could tie into certain Superman arguments where they have an idea of certain characters where they think this is how it should be. Well, do you read it or support it? No. Well, then I guess I guess you can't talk about it then because you have no frame of reference.
The fact that Superman has come out with any good or at all.
No, he's all man.
Like with like two different eras of producers saying they don't want to have a cape because it's faggy. Like,
Okay.
you know, like it like doesn't like is like really a testament to how much of that character gets through.
Yeah.
Like I would say this is probably the worst cinematic interpretation of Superman as far as what makes Superman tick for me. But like the thing with the Fantastic Four is that, and I can't get anyone to fucking listen to me that's under the age of 30, that those movies like aren't the source material's fault.
No. No.
Like that last debacle is going to go down in history. Like if they still have like clickbait lists in 70 years, that last Fantastic Four film is going to be on number one on like a million lists for like a million reasons, all having to do with the director wouldn't leave a tent. He had a mobile tent and he wouldn't talk to the rest of the cast and crew. Like, how is that going to be a good movie?
Has there actually been a good Fantastic Four movie though? Because I think that's
It was called
turning me off.
Incredibles.
Yeah, that's the thing. The best FF movie is The Incredibles meets Indiana Jones meets
Right.
Buckaroo Banzai.
That's
That movie that doesn't exist. So the answer is
That's-
no.
that's
there's no
mine.
good
No,
Fantastic Four movie.
as bad as it is, the 1990 version is actually pretty entertaining.
I hate that.
And to be fair, Tim Story made fucking Barbershop 1 and 2, and they gave him the keys to the kingdom of
Right.
the FF. And I enjoyed the Barbershop. It was a cute comedy. Maybe not the world's greatest comic magazine.
Yeah, but they also how can I word this? They also like they weren't making comic book movies at that time to make awesome movies. They're making comic book movies because like those Schumacher Batman films set a precedent that like we barely have to make a fucking movie.
Right.
And we're going to have tons of licensing and tons of toys. Like they were for a different thing, and I feel like there are things that I feel like I lack context on.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like not like I feel like the generational divide is like got so big so fast because it wasn't like that for me. You know, maybe it's because my friends were all older. But like I feel like all of a sudden like people that are you know, I would say Jenny's age and Wiley's age and back, like all of a sudden out of the blue, just like drew a fucking line in the sand, and anything that came out before that, garbage.
I think some of it is looking for relatable characters. I mean, like, I don't think Sue Storm's relatable.
Really?
Not particularly, not for me. I don't see anything there that I feel like I could identify with, and I think that some of it is, you know, a generational thing, that they're marketable because people see something of themselves there. I mean, that's why you read superhero stories, is there's something about, you know, that story that you want to find that you can really identify with. And I just never got that with Fantastic Four. Was not that for me.
And it could be fair. I mean, like, and this is a dude talking. Like, I come from the perspective that Sue is the most powerful member of the FF.
I think she's one of the most powerful members of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, and it's that spin. So, and maybe that's interesting. I think Sue, once again, she evolved from the Invisible Girl to just being invisible. But when they went to adapt her powers to kind of do more with what she can do with invisibility, she kind of, it was always she's the strongest member. Right. Kind of like the way Dick Grayson became the strongest member of the Titans because of his brain. You know what I mean?
Well, I think though that there's nothing that invited me there. I mean, like I said, I have not extensively read it. You know, it's here and there.
Sure.
I know a couple stories.
I'll let you
I've
borrow
seen
my
this
Burn
movie.
omnibus.
That you always do this to me, and then I end up reading something and really liking it in the end. So maybe
See?
that'll work.
Yeah.
But you
That's
know,
it. That Burn omnibus is heavy. I can't even finish it.
there was nothing that invited me in. They just, the Invisible Girl. What else does she do? Nobody really knows. You know, well, what's her deal? Who is she? She's the Invisible Girl. Okay, is there more? Like, and I never got that kind of invite to who she is and what she does, and so it never really dug me.
Which is fair.
And another thing that I think is like really on point that was hard for me to put across, because people seem gaga over those super mediocre X-Men movies. Like, if you're Fox and you make a Fantastic Four movie with an X-Men budget, it's garbage. Like, it's such a bigger story than that. Forget about the characters' powers. Forget about, the exploration, the time travel, the kind of astronaut, the explorer sort of way. Like, it's a bigger story than the budget that they've ever given it. And I think that maybe on paper they came close this last time. Like that, like I've read section of that script. I think I said it when we talked about that movie, and like that wasn't a bad script. That was the most like a Marvel movie at that time that I had seen anything be. But you also run into a world, and no disrespect, like I'm not a huge fan of the character outside of like I like the movie and I like Uncanny X-Force, but like when you get in a conversation, I was having multiple conversations about this with multiple people, and you're talking about like this great family subtext and like everything else, like and the response is like, well, Deadpool was good. Like, I just seriously feel like I'm being like I should just put my robe on and start yelling at people to get off my lawn.
To be fair, my womanhood is still quivering over Deadpool. Ooh. It had to be said. I'll see it 18
That's
more
the fucking
times.
box fucking art right there. That's the quote. Like the Blu-ray. I'm fucking buying.
My womanhood
40s.
is quivering.
I thought the movie was awesome.
That's a fucking line I need to cut out.
I gotta buy 4 of these.
Yeah.
I gotta see what it's all about. I'm gonna watch Van Wilder. I'm gonna fucking watch all the one where he's in the coffin for an hour.
Yeah.
My
What's
womanhood
Ryan
is
Reynolds'
quivering.
I thought that the movie was great. I just has never found a
Waited. I'm gonna watch that one.
series where that character really I hate to use the terminology spoke to me, entertained me,
Have you
except
read,
for Uncanny X-Force.
Have you read Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
The Sergio Leone.
The Deadpool arc. It's Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan.
Yeah, I got him. Coop got him for me, I think. And I didn't dislike it, like with the presidents and that stuff.
Oh yeah, see that's where I really like fell in love. That got me. And then I went back and started digging.
Yeah, I
Did you read Teen Titans: The Judas Contract with Deathstroke?
Yeah,
Because
that's what I was gonna say.
Because
but I didn't
Deadpool-
want to be a dick.
not for nothing. and I enjoyed the Deadpool for what it was, but let's face it, like Rob Liefeld was a big Titans fan.
Right.
Youngblood was originally going to be a Titans West spinoff.
Yeah.
And Slade Wilson is an exact knockoff of Wade Wilson.
Has anyone else
Like-
ever read
Which is fine.
the Youngblood information, which I don't think I knew, just fucking blew my brain apart. I just lost my.
What I said right now?
Yeah.
Shaft was Red Arrow was Speedy.
Yeah, he obviously is, isn't he, motherfucker? I think that at the end of the and there was some stuff I liked when Lobel was writing it. Is that who was doing
Scott
it?
Lobel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was fighting Juggernaut, and supposedly that another hot, apparently that 90% of the mutants in the world are redhead, buxom women, but because they just keep appearing in the Marvel universe. But I think that stuff was pretty good. But it just my favorite him is under Rick Remender's pen, where he's a little bit more he's. I'm gonna say this wrong, and you could probably help me of all fucking people. The sad clown there. Sad Italian clown.
That's
But
my
me?
favorite Deadpool.
Yeah, Pat. No, you're not. You are a sad Italian fucking clown. that's not what I mean.
Patchouli? You wearing
Yeah.
patchouli? You going to a Grateful Dead show? What?
You want to get out of here, Jenny?
I want to get out of here.
we have comics to make. But somebody on the thing knows.
The movie where it's
No.
the Santa Clown. I am Patchouli.
No.
Wait, what's that movie?
I don't know.
What was that?
What was that movie?
But I think as a character, I find him even as kind of being definitely insane, but having a kind of a put on almost like a
Jenny is
little
so
more
scared
interesting.
right now. She has no idea.
I'm
what you're gonna
chomping
say.
at the bit right now because that's exactly the Deadpool I love. Is like when you get to the very end of that storyline, it starts to turn kind of dark and really sad. He gets to this point where he's really emotional and really like broken, and you realize that he's putting on this front and that all the jokes and all the fourth wall breaking is because he is such damaged goods that it's the only way he's carrying on. And that's when I was like, Deadpool's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
is
see, I
when it
didn't-
had that kind of that deep. It has. To
I
be
should have
written by
read
a
the rest of
comedian.
that instead of the Gauntlet, which I missed 4 issues and didn't even realize it when I picked up the 5th.
Oh yeah, no. And the Gauntlet's cute, but
See, I'm kind of like Deadpool. I do a lot of bombaleos, and oh my lord, because I'm just masking the pain inside.
Feel sad.
You know what
There's
I'm
a
saying?
lot of
like
pain.
This, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
we know.
Oh.
he also celebrates International Women's Day, so they have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Who, Deadpool or Michael Ravenshadow?
Both.
Yeah, I got a
The
cake.
same way.
Had a cake.
Yeah.
All right, let me catch up in the chat room real quick. I gained my virginity back. Thank you guys.
I was hoping that you were using my Amazon gift list. To buy
Mine
me
kinda
some
doubled
nice things for my birthday.
No. So we have a bunch of
You get
people
credit?
hanging out.
Yeah.
We have, let's see, Melissa's hanging out. We got Oily Maniac. We got Nicholas.
All right.
He says, Nicholas says, Ravenshadow loves that pizza every show, man.
I do,
good.
man.
And he says, MZ getting creepy already. And he was referring to the beginning of the show.
He is right.
Oily
Look at all the room you have, Jenny.
I know. I can spread out.
Oily Maniac says, I love that these guys give MZ shit for having robot toys.
Not me.
That's
no,
true.
It's one guy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, what?
You giving
He doesn't-
you giving me shit? Well, fuck you, man.
Oh, shit. We got first time Mike checking in. What's up, buddy?
Oh, second time, Mike.
He said I didn't get scared off last week, so we got second time Mike. And then Bobby Chains is hanging out. He says, give it time,
BC.
Mike. Unchained is where it's at, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Why don't
Give
you- why
my,
don't you get your own show.
Do you get my action figure collection shit behind my back?
Me?
You? Yeah.
No,
Well, why do you hate his robot so bad?
because it's him.
I
I like
see.
your. We have the same toys.
And first time Mike says, I've checked out Unchained. You guys do a great job, too. Since the TVCU, I've been listening to a ton of podcasts. So awesome. Looks like the television crossover universe was his entry
Good.
entry point.
That's the gateway drug.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly.
You'd like, have you listened to that before, Jenny?
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to listen to anything lately. I'm behind on this show even.
I am too.
Bobby Chains says, thanks. All jests aside, these guys are the absolute best. Thanks, Chains. You guys are fucking awesome, too, man.
Yeah. And you
Bobby
guys are going to be
Chains-
even more awesome in a couple of weeks.
Treats me really good when I'm on there.
He takes care of his talent.
He does.
Except for the one that sits to his left.
He didn't deserve it this time.
First time Mike says truth about The Incredibles. So he agrees.
Yeah.
Slay Goth's hanging out.
Oh snap!
We got Ledger.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Hey, Ledger.
We got Jeremy McFarlane. It says, what the fuck is going on, my brothers?
Damn.
Oh man,
It's like
who's
the all-star chat.
I
who's
know.
No,
fixed
we
the truck?
got a full room here.
We got Lalo Schifrin.
Who's that?
We got Derek Rook.
Yeah.
He says, what's up, brothers and sister? Jenny is she, not me.
That blew my mind.
Melissa says, love Deadpool, love Ryan Reynolds.
That's right, girl.
I liked
Get
it
it.
too. I feel like this is another case where I said I liked something.
You didn't like it enough.
And Derek Rook says, Wolfie says, Jamoke like a boss. Did I say Jamoke tonight?
Hey, Slaygoth.
Maybe.
No.
And
You said these jamokes.
Michael Ledger thought you were talking about Bob Lobel earlier when you said Scott Lobdell.
That's what I thought he was saying.
That too, yeah.
I thought he was going to bring up the Red Sox score or something like that.
Is that who wrote it at that time? He was just drunk and belligerent, and he's like, Daniel Juggernaut.
And speaking of which, speaking of comic books and everything, it is Hellboy's birthday today. Ron Perlman.
Oh.
It's his birthday today, so
Congratulations on your birthday, Ron.
Thank you
I
for
know
being
you're
alive.
I know you're listening. Yeah.
yeah.
Big ups
Nah,
to your
Ron
mom.
Perlman's awesome.
He is
Come on,
awesome.
He is awesome.
Lalo Schifrin, we all fucking know who you are, so give up the jig, buddy. He says, if you knew who I really was, you'd probably take that back. He's talking to Chains. And then Nicholas says, oh, God, that Fantastic Four talk.
He got me that time, more with Phantasm. Without the fucking chop.
What he should come up with a movie called The Phantasm Four.
Where
I think
everybody,
that- I think
everywhere
that's-
everybody looks like the tall man.
Yeah. Even the Invisible Woman.
Yeah, the invisible tall
The
man.
invisible tall man
How would you
woman.
know?
Yeah.
Write that down, Jenny. I need a 12th issue.
Phantasm 4.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
That's one of our new movies. We got Hobbit with a Shotgun.
Yep.
We got Sixth Sense. We got Wolf Cop of Wall Street. We got Cannibal Run.
They're all Deadites comics now.
Yep.
He's a fine
Yep.
artist.
Copyright. We copyright this shit.
I'm
now
waiting for
Phantasm
I'm waiting to
4.
see how long it takes MonsterZero to figure out that he's in the book every issue. He'll be like, I don't care about comics.
Do you spell the Phantasm 4, the 4 with an F or a PH?
PH. Yeah. Yeah.
Or the Fortasm with that.
Oh snap! Fortas.
Ravenshaw's like,
I
is
know
that a
where we're
website? I'm gonna go. It's like the other website that I go to all the time. It must be good.
Is it Fortitude? I don't want to talk about it. Let's go to commercial. Jenny,
All right, you know what? We need to get to the.
Who's next, Johnny?
We need to get to
Travis.
the film review because we have an interview coming up in
Yes.
45 minutes. And I kind of wanted more time to talk about Darling. But anyways, we're going to cut to break in just a couple moments. But before we do that, let's get through the important stuff. I'm going to introduce everyone real quick. I'm Johnny Wolfenstein. We got Dynamo Mars. We introduced Jenny Isme.
Present.
We have MonsterZero.
Rest in peace, Balls Mahoney.
And we also, that's sad. Not surprising, but sad.
Yeah.
And we also have Michael Ravenshadow.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Perlman.
Thank you. I almost
Just
said
say
Ron.
Hellboy.
I almost said Ron Goldman, and that's a bad time. I know that. I know that's so wrong, and I'm sorry about that.
That's my property lawyer.
Ron Goldman.
I am.
Jesus Christ, 1994.
Four.
Yeah, called.
And say hello to the OJ.
Are you wearing a black glove right now, or what?
I don't want
That
to.
is
Worry.
OJ.
Well, he does have a knife in his back pocket.
Don't
actually.
worry about what I have in my pocket. I'm Italian.
Do you have a white? Do you have a white Bronco?
I don't. Johnny. Bambaleo. Okay. Let's just stick to the script.
Los Cretan is hanging out.
Oh,
All right.
Jenny?
Los.
Los says Phantasm 4, mind blown.
I think it's funny that he is packing though, because he's more like apt to be in like West Side Story than a Scorsese movie.
And
He'll be there snapping his fingers.
And Chains is pointing out the fact that MZ has an open container. He says, open containers, Wolfie, yay or nay?
Yeah, I think Chain Gang kind of runs amok.
Wait, but you're Wolfie.
Yeah, there were some open containers in play this weekend. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I asked about it, the response from Tim Nice was, "I wasn't gonna."
I wasn't gonna.
First of all, I don't drink during the show. I only drink soda or juice or tea.
Pussy.
And
That might change next week. I think our guest in studio is gonna make us drink beers. Ravenshadow.
Wait, I'm like, who's the guest?
somebody get him a drool
I'm
bucket
interested.
quick.
Ravenshadow, are you in rehab?
No. Not formally.
The awkwardness of that was great. No.
Not really.
Not really. All right. We need to head to a break in just a moment. We're going to talk about Darling. Before we do that, go check out trickortreatradio.com and go ahead and look at all of our sponsors and friends. We have Horror Pack. You can go sign up to receive 4 DVDs or Blu-rays every month delivered to your door.
Oh, wow.
They have a really awesome deal going on. So check that out. Click on the link on our homepage. And then also we have Amazon. If you use Amazon to shop, go ahead and use our affiliate link. Just go ahead and click on the logo on trickortreatradio.com. Or you can also bookmark that link so you don't have to keep clicking on it. And we also have our friends over at XSplit.
XSplit!
Who provide the streaming video that you see when you watch live. And we also have on the podcast network, the Grand Guignol Network, we have 5 shows now. Trick or Treat Radio drops every Friday morning.
There's a giant bug here.
Oh, is it the moth? Is it a big moth? Because I accidentally brought that with me. It was in
That's
my
a
scarf.
moth. It just went under the trash barrel, and the trash barrel moved.
Yeah, it's Jenny's pet moth rocket.
It was
Rocket.
moth raw. I'm sorry.
He's got tattoos.
So Monday we have Unchained. Tuesday we have the Television Crossover Universe podcast. Wednesday we have the Elm Street Kids. Friday we have Trick or Treat Radio. And then Sundays we have the Outside Corner Fantasy Baseball podcast with myself and Dr. Joey Tron. So go subscribe, rate, do all that awesome stuff. Ravenshadow, you
Yes.
sit down to watch Darling. I'm fucking dying to hear this. What happens?
Don't fucking do what I did. I had a bad day.
When
right.
don't you have a fucking bad day?
Listen. All right. Listen. I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit. Peel back the cake.
I don't know if you should.
You know, I'm gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna get real to you, Jenny. Go outside for a minute, okay? So I tend to watch the movies on Tuesdays, right? That we record on Wednesdays. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. I'm gonna watch it on Tuesday. Now, don't fucking help. So for those tomorrow after the show airs, and the day before this show drops is Wife and Shadows and I 9th year marriage anniversary.
Congratulations.
Right? Official. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh my God,
Congratulations.
I
See? So because of our schedule, we gotta like kind of do this like Hanukkah style and fit in like certain like spread it out
What does
over
this have
days.
to do with watching a fucking movie?
I'm gonna fucking tell you.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
gonna fucking tell you.
Dynamo is gonna die. What the fuck?
I'm gonna fucking tell you why. So
I think he just fell down the stairs.
home. I think he just left.
I
He's
totally
gone.
heard a thud. No, big ups to monogamy. So it's fucking movie night, right? And we had a bad day. I had somebody I know had a bad day, and dealing with that. We had to go do a birthday party out of formality with a family member, whatever the fuck. So when I was sitting down and watched the movie, and now we're gonna get fucking locked, I'm like, honey, this is gonna be the shit, right? It's fucking black and white. It's gonna be excellent. You love this. You love fucking black and white weirdness. So we get into it, and it stops. It stutters. I'm like, fuck. I wipe it out.
You're watching this on video on demand and it was stuttering?
Yeah, it was weird. Technology, and I think I kind of blame Verizon because they're on strike right now.
Okay.
That's fucking weird. So we try to unplug, turn it on, wrench it around, wrench it off, all that stuff. So it ain't working. So I'm sending texts to Johnny and I'm fucking swearing. And I'm upset.
Yeah, you were.
I was. And you talked me down. You said don't get I forget what you said, but you knew what I was feeling before I was feeling it.
Yeah.
And that's that connection that we have. But anyway, I'm frustrated, so I'm swearing. So, and because it was movie night, I couldn't put the headphones on the computer to listen to a movie because it's movie night.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So as I'm swearing. I didn't watch
You
the
stay
movie.
up until fucking 3 a.m.
I'm on 3 a.m., so then Wife and Shadow picks the movie. And so after we watched the Judd Apatow Opus Trainwreck with Amy Schumer, is what I did. And I didn't see the movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tim Nice. I'm sorry, Slagoff.
All that
Go fuck yourself, MonsterZero.
for fucking. I didn't watch the movie. I even sent you
You did, but it was
something special to watch it.
you were very nice, and I appreciate that. But you understand that there were things
Oh,
happening.
I don't understand.
There were things happening
I
down
have
the
no
scenes.
fucking sympathy.
Slagoff, you
I'm
understand?
sorry.
Jenny Beck.
We need to go to a break.
All right. So, send Jenny a link at 9:00, and she'll watch it because he's fucking professional.
Yeah, and should be done 76 minutes later, which is how long the movie was.
Well, I'm done usually.
It was
I don't want to
like
talk about
80.
that. Strap on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
This is Bobby Chains,
Uncle Polly.
And I'm the kid Tim Nice from the Unchained podcast.
and you're now listening to Trick or Treat Radio on the Grand Guignol Network.
I will be a burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics.
What comics?
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
And we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. I'm alone in the studio with no one else. Dynamo died in the hallway or something. I don't even know what the fuck happened.
It was pretty close.
I'm suing you.
What happened?
You almost killed me is what
I
happened.
didn't almost kill you.
You did.
Why? How did I kill you?
I got photographic proof of what happened to Dynamo.
How did I almost kill you?
You had scalding hot coffee burn the inside of my nasal passages.
What?
I still can't talk.
All right, we're going to talk about Darling.
Should I even bother telling him that like he could come over to my house and watch movies?
I don't think it fucking matters.
Even if I'm not there?
Hold on. He had the movie. Like, there's no excuse.
I know.
He just didn't want to watch it. That's all it comes down to. He didn't want to watch it. So we're going to talk about Darling. This flick from 2015 recently was just released on VOD and in select theaters. It is an hour and 18 minutes horror thriller written and directed by Mickey Keating, our guest from last week, and it stars Sean Young, Larry Fessenden. Well, it doesn't star him. It's more of a cameo.
Really? Fessenden's in this?
Yeah,
Who would've
the
guessed?
end, man. Oh, you're just being silly. Okay.
Yes, I'm being facetious.
Lauren Ashley Carter, who was the sister in Pod.
Yes.
Helen Rogers, John Sparadakos, Brian Morvant, who is also in Pod. And the synopsis we have here is very basic. It says, a lonely girl's violent descent into madness.
Which is pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah.
A short, accurate description of the film.
Sure. Yeah. So this flick, Darling, recently just hit VOD. So if you want to, go check it out. It is shot in black and white and shot in New York City. And I think New York City looks awfully pretty in black and white. I have to admit.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that.
I loved a lot of the shots of the city in black and white. It just gave it a different feel almost. Like, I don't know, like I felt like I was almost looking at Gotham, and it felt like there's something kind of haunting about it. But I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Well, there was the opening shots had a nice overview of the city street. And the line of buildings, but I think it also went to like plain land or like into the ocean area, and with a nice rolling fog coming over the horizon, and that really set up a really good ambiance for the film, actually.
Yeah, for sure. In the chat room, Slaygot says, hardly get to see a lot of these films. Feel your Ravenshadow. Don't fucking feel for him.
Don't feel for that guy.
Don't tell him when he comes.
I won't. Slaygot says, love you, Mars. Hope you're feeling better, bro.
Oh my God. I don't feel better.
Oh, here they come.
Los Cretan says, fantastic problems, but a movie ain't one. And Slagot says, Bobby cracking a beer now. All right. So, what'd you guys think? Sean Young, right away?
I know, right?
Pretty
Sean
fucking awesome.
Young,
A name actress. Very nice.
I'm thrilled to
Almost-
see her.
almost the lead in two great Harrison Ford opuses. She had a really great screen test for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, for the...
Opposite somebody
What's her name?
outrageous. Not she wasn't. I don't think she was with the Tom Selleck screen test. I'll have to think. There was somebody outrageous that was almost Indiana Jones. I can't remember. But they had a really good screen test, and they were both almost it. And then Tom Selleck came in and blew that guy away. And then Tom Selleck couldn't do it for Magnum TA. Magnum PI.
Magnum TA.
He had a fiery comeback.
College years.
So yeah.
So this is a very... This film is clearly influenced by a lot of stuff from, I would say, 60s and even in 70s, I guess, because I got a lot of the like kind of the satanic films of the 70s and early 80s vibe as well in this.
Well, there's two films that spring to mind immediately watching this film.
Are they both by Roman Polanski?
They are Repulsion and Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen Repulsion, but I definitely got Rosemary's Baby vibe.
It's another one I always get shit on for not being a huge fan of.
Rosemary's Baby?
Repulsion. Oh, I love Rosemary's
okay.
Baby.
That's what I
Repulsion
thought.
is a damn fine flick, and you'd have to be pretty close-minded to think that this movie was not influenced by that in any way.
But it was interesting hearing Mickey talk last week. He certainly admires a lot of the, I wouldn't say old time directors, like, because, I guess we could go back to the 20s and 30s if we're talking old time, but a lot of the more like kind of classic contemporary, like he mentioned Robert Altman and De Palma, and, I could
Modern
certainly...
classic.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I could certainly see how, he's been influenced by a lot of those directors. And, as you said, Polanski, definitely, I could definitely see that one as well. But this was a pretty interesting movie, and I'm going to compare it a little bit to Pod, just because that was the last flick of Mickey's that we saw. And I think Pod showed a lot of promise, but I think ultimately there was there was a little bit left to be desired for me personally. But I think this one takes that and improves in a lot of those areas that I had, that I wanted to see improved upon. And I think he's a director that, from every film that I've seen from him, he gets a little bit better and he does something a little bit different. And I think that's really cool. So what did you think of the vibe of this, MZ? I mean, I know you're a fan of some of the directors that we'd mentioned. So did you like the black and white feel?
Oh, I absolutely adored the black and white feel, man. I mean, I think if you shot this in color, you wouldn't get the claustrophobic feel.
Yeah.
Than if you did shoot it in black and white. And it's like you said before, Wolfie. There's a certain ambiance involved. It definitely carries a certain mood that no other film would be able to carry if it was done in color.
And there's a lot of nuance, I think, in this.
Yes,
which I think was very nice, and I think because it was sort of a very minimalistic film, that a lot of that nuance was able to shine through a little bit more, and it was more impactful, like little things like that.
Also, it was just the shooting was really skilled. I mean, there's a lot of dark in this movie, and you never felt like you couldn't see what you were supposed to see. You didn't feel like you couldn't see what was going on. And things when they're thinking about how to shoot this and having the contrast and being able to just really have a clear picture of what's going on. I mean, shooting in black and white is not easy, and it was beautifully done.
Yep.
Oh yeah. They captured the light just right. They captured the shadows just right, and there were times where the movement of the camera was very, very unsettling to me. There were times
That's a good
where
point. Sorry, I just want to bring up one scene in particular when she hears a noise. I think she's in the bathroom, and she kind of like looks over at the shower, and then the camera also pans.
No,
over.
that was in the bedroom. She was sleeping.
Bedroom, okay.
Yeah, she was laying down in the bed. She heard a noise. I think it was a door slam or something like that. And
Well, I'm talking about another scene, but that one also, yeah.
Oh, maybe it is. then she looks over, and as she slowly turns her head to look, the camera slowly pans over to absolute
sound.
darkness.
Yeah.
Where the sound was, but there's absolute darkness. So there could be something there. There might not be something there. The movie likes to screw with your mind, and then after a couple of seconds, it just slowly goes back, and it's so well shot, so well done.
And I think this is a great medium or a great platform for his style, because I think in Pod I almost felt that it was too filmed a little bit too art house style for a film that didn't really need that, But I think this one, it absolutely thrives on the style, and I think his filmmaking style lends itself really well to this film more so than Pod.
And that's and with Sean Young, when we were talking about her, that was one thing too, that in the beginning I kind of felt like maybe she was a little rusty, she was out of practice, and then going through the movie and getting that real stylized feel, it felt a lot more intentional, that she was doing that kind of detached 60s vibe, that there was that detachment between her and was it Lauren Ashley Carter?
Yep.
Yeah.
That it was much more meaningful as the movie went on. That originally I thought that she was kind of off her game, but it was totally intentional.
That's how I felt too. And speaking of performances,
I wasn't sure she was there. Like it took me, like I had to rewind to make sure that they were actually really in a shot together, because it kept going back to that
one person shot
over her shoulder, over who would be Sean Young's shoulder, static shot.
Well, as I was saying, speaking of performances, I thought when she was in Pod, Lauren Ashley Carter, I didn't think she was all that great, to be perfectly honest with you.
I thought she was the best.
I didn't think so. I thought it felt a little. I felt her performances act a little forced. Here, I think she improved tenfold, and not only is she really good in this movie, but she carries it.
Oh yeah, it's a
She
one-woman
has to,
show.
yeah.
I mean, this movie is entirely about her crazy eyes.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too, is about her eyes, because it's and I want to make a note of this, is that she almost carries like an anime sort of look about her, in the way of like, say, an Angela Bettis or a young Jessica Harper, where her eyes do a lot of acting, and she's got very big eyes. She's got large eyes, and they do a lot of emotion.
Expressive, yeah.
Very expressive eyes. And I just want to make a point of that, is that she reminded me of Jessica Harper in Suspiria.
Okay, I could see that.
Well, and on top of that too, I mean, when we watched it, we were noting that she's a full body actress, and everything she did, the way she carried herself, when they cut to her in a shot, you knew exactly where she was in her head, just on her posture, how she was holding her arms. I mean, it was an incredible performance. I didn't see Pod.
I think she's going to be
Jugface.
Stop.
Loves Jugface.
What was it, Mars?
I really think that Lauren Ashley Carter is going to be a star.
Oh yeah.
I think that I don't know that she'll be a lead per se, but no one looks like her, and she chews up scenery just by sitting there. I agree with Jenny 110% when like every single molecule of her is acting when she's on film. Like she's really, really committed. I really think that she's going to be a big star someday.
This film is definitely she is the make or break of this film. If she is not quite all there, this movie suffers in a big way. And she was pretty much spot on in every single scene, and she completely carried this movie. I mean, she had a good script and good direction to work with, obviously, but even with all that stuff being completely perfect, without her performance, this movie fails.
That I have a hard time imagining this movie working with another actress. That it felt like, I'm not sure, I missed the interview last week, oops, but I'm not sure how much of it was thought out in advance and how much of it was just, hey, this girl's face is amazing, let's work with it. But it was absolutely all her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the interesting things about this movie, and we did talk a little bit about this with Mickey and Joe in our interview last week, but we talked about basically they make period pieces because they don't like the influence of technology in their films, which I really appreciate. I think we all appreciate
Yeah.
because it definitely could take something away, and just kind of taking that and comparing it with this film. If she was able to have a laptop or a tablet or a phone, this is a very different movie, and I don't know that it works because she's isolated in this house, and if she has connection to the outside world, this movie doesn't work. And so I think it's really interesting. I mean, obviously they purposely he purposely set it in this period, whatever, in the 60s or 70s, but without that, this is a very different movie.
Well, I mean, and it makes it timeless too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in the 60s, the 70s. I mean, this could be, last week.
Yeah.
Well, I was almost convinced that this took place long before the modern technology that we have now, based on her haircut, because her haircut it just screams late 60s to me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, who knows? Maybe the house has been kept in pristine shape for years, but you look at a lot of the stuff in the house, and that's clearly, pretty dated from like 30, 40, 50 years ago,
I mean, she could be a hipster working for a crazy rich old lady. It could totally be
It's true.
modern.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but I agree. But just if I was to accept her in this house, with the way the house looks, the way she looks, I would think 1960s. But that's me.
The one thing, and once again, I'm gonna compare a little bit to Pod just because it's the other film of his that we reviewed. But it seems like Mickey Keating likes this mystery box narrative, because we have this room, once again, it's almost kind of like Pod, where he had the room where we don't see what's in it until the end, and in this one we have this room that Darling can't get into, and she asks the owner, like, hey, I can't get into this room, and it's purposely locked, and she's like, don't go in there, don't even try. So it's pretty interesting. We have this throughout. We have this, what the fuck is in the room? What's going on in there? And we don't know. And that's kind of throughout the whole entire movie.
Yeah, but I like how they don't keep on going back to that area.
No, I agree. I mean, they showed it a couple times.
Just like once at the beginning, once at the end, and that's it. They don't harp on it. They don't shove it down your throat and say, okay, this is this is the meaning of the film, is to find out what the hell's behind that door. It's about.
Oh yeah, it definitely wasn't the meaning.
And that worked fine with me. It's like,
yeah,
that worked perfectly, because it's not about what's behind the door. It's about her being in that house and what hell she's going through.
Yeah. I also think there's some really awesome subtle scares in this. Not necessarily jump scares, but especially, I think it was the scene you were talking about, MZ. She's laying in bed, and then the door kind of like starts to like open. Mm-hmm. And normally that would be like but it's kind of punctuated by this like abrupt, like it hits the wall and it like makes a loud noise, And I think there was a lot of really cool subtle scares like that were just kind of creepy, but not like jump scare,
There were a lot of good stinger scares in here as well, that utilized a lot of sound, mm-hmm. and some of the more effective.
I hated all that. Like, for all the things I liked about this movie, the sound design was not one of them.
Boo.
Yeah. I really dug the sound design on this film.
It was honestly like, when I was a kid, there was a carnival that came to town every single year, and you would walk through the dark ride, and they would have a fucking spider come down at one point that looked like Little Miss Muffet, and it made the noise that most of the jump scare noises made. And this was like, like just shrill, irritating noises.
I loved it, especially at the end when she goes into that big, wide open mouth scream, and instead it's that shrill kind of alarm sound. That was beautiful and perfect. And also, did you notice the completely superfluous, just kind of like squishy, crunchy noises in the background?
Oh yeah.
I also did not like The Exorcist. Just a chin hair away from subliminal stacked imagery.
Wow, I'm surprised you said chin hair and not something else. Like you're grumpy.
It's a good call.
Yeah. later on in the film, maybe about halfway through, maybe not quite, she sees like something scrawled on, was it the night table or something like that?
Yeah.
I think it was abyssus abyssum invocum, maybe. Was I
Invocat or invocat?
Was I close?
Yep, you were very close. Absolutely.
Remember that old song? Why can't you be more like Endicott? Do you remember that song? Why can't you be more like Endicott?
I was born in the 80s. I'm sorry.
Not the 1880s.
But, of course, I had to look it up, and it's a Latin phrase meaning one misstep leads to another, or literally hell calls hell. A warning that the first step in the temptation to go astray from what is right or morally correct is difficult to prevent. However, we must always be on guard to strive for what is ethical and honorable.
Word.
So one misstep leads to another. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I like kind of having, Dynamo, you're breathing into the mic. It's really creeping me out. And I think the cutaway shots to New York City was really effective. It had a ton of atmosphere, and I think it almost felt like a ghost town of sorts, like a living ghost town.
It definitely contributed to that isolated feel.
Yeah.
Just this big, vast city with no one in it.
Yeah, which was interesting because it's clearly New York City. It's one of the most populated cities in the world, and yet it felt isolated, and she felt like she was isolated, So I thought that was very, very cool. And she's clearly, so there's something going on. I don't, we talked about it in the synopsis that, she's sort of slowly descending into madness, but she's very insecure and awkward as well. And I think that's always kind of been something with her. At least I get that I make that assumption just by what we knew about her heading into the story. But, it is certainly an interesting kind of, I don't know if I'd call it a character study, because it doesn't really, it's just this moment in time when she is in this house, and whether or not she's controlled by outside forces, I guess, is to be determined by the viewer. But what was you guys' take on that without getting too spoilery? Do you think it was the house? Do you think it was her?
Well, especially now that I know what that Latin phrase actually means, I feel like it was kind of, there was that seed in her and the house was feeding it, almost like you have to have the starter pack before you really fall into the full crazy.
Yeah.
But I think she was primed for it, and they just kind of pushed her off the edge.
Mm-hmm. Figuratively or literally?
You know what my favorite thing in this film was? My favorite little touch? The drain.
Yeah.
That was one ominous goddamn drain.
Right.
Yeah, it was really cool because you keep thinking something is going to come out of there or something's going to happen with it, the way he focuses in on it.
Yeah.
They expressed paranoia better than any movie I've ever seen. That you are expecting something to happen every step of the way, and sometimes it does, but most of the time, no, it's just you.
Yeah, the house is just as big a character in this film as Darling is. You could, if not more, because you can't have one without the other and have it work as successfully as it does in a film like this. Do I think that the house possessed her? Yeah. I think it's like you said before, though, Wolfie. She was kind of awkward and everything like that. And kind of like maybe a slightly milquetoast in a way, sort of.
I fucking love that word.
and so it really wasn't that difficult to push her over the edge, as Jenny mentioned before, and so basically she was an easy target, and where Madam has this apparent history of getting girls like this, and a lot of proof would be, if you want to judge on visuals, the girl at the end, that she's equally not sure of herself, somewhat mousy in a way, and also, which was also a pleasant treat, because I know I've seen her before, and I know I looked her, and I know her name. Her name is Helen something or other, but she was the little pixie girl in Dynamo. You might want to hear this. The little pixie girl in.
I'm actually listening to you.
Oh, good. In VHS 2. Remember the little pixie girl in VHS 2?
No.
Who she was confabbing with her boyfriend over over Skype or on her computer or whatever?
That was in VHS 1.
No, VHS 2.
No.
Yes.
VHS 2 had the
Helen
eye,
Rogers, that's
the
her
zombie, the eye, the zombie thing, and Safe Haven and the aliens.
Let me see.
Trust me, there's not. I like.
Yeah, he's seen it.
Oh, it is
VHS.
VHS. Yeah, you're right. It is VHS. The sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it was nice to see that she was in this movie too. But it shows that the madam that madam has a.
It better not be that fucking can.
No, the can's
destroy
empty.
you.
The can's empty. That madam has a penchant for picking out girls who are very waif-like.
She's got
and
a type.
unsure of herself. Yeah, she looks for a certain type. And she talks about, the past of other girls that have taken care of the house before her. So.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see the play between those two scenes when she's talking to Darling and the new girl,
See that I kind of questioned how much I needed that scene
at the end.
the end?
we kind of wanted her to just swan dive and then cut to credits. That I didn't know if they needed the hand popping out of the grave at the end with another girl showing up.
Well, I didn't mind it. I mean, it's somewhat shows that this isn't like a fluke thing, that she's not in on it or anything like that.
Well, it did raise the question. We were wondering, is Sean Young the devil? Is she the devil they're invoking in this whole thing?
She's a replicant.
I mean,
A devil Clint? No, never mind.
that she
That
shows
doesn't
up,
work.
sets the trap, and then pieces out to just push it forward until its natural climax.
Yeah.
Ravensshadow's like, I missed this fucking
What the
movie.
fuck?
Wow.
Where's the link?
You're waiting for the natural climax.
Yeah. No, wait too
But
long.
she does gear down Ravenshadow.
Word, really?
Yeah.
I like she was smoking butts. I was digging that.
Of course
That's when,
you were.
that's when I got frustrated. I'm like, why is she smoking? I'm smoking.
I really like that because I thought it was a great throwback because only villains smoke in movies now, and that to me felt immediately that 60s vibe was she is our protagonist essentially,
Yeah.
and she is smoking a butt on screen. That was cool.
Like a fucking grown up?
Yeah, but she was smoking a butt on screen before the house took hold.
No,
Well, yeah,
that's what Jenny said.
She's a protagonist. She's I mean, for lack of a better word, she's kind of our hero here, trying to be at least.
Okay.
Our anti-hero, something like that. She's a weird character that I can't really name, but the fact that she's not the villain of the piece and is smoking on screen is a big deal.
And one thing I noticed, and this probably was purposely done, but there's the scene, like we're actually watching it here in studio. She's about to lay down in the bed, and she's wearing like a white nightie. And then later on, when she brings that guy back to her house after what happens there, she is wearing all black, laying in bed. So I wonder if there's some sort of, if that's
Symbolism?
symbolism. Yeah.
Well,
I know
that's a call to Psycho. So.
Yeah, I know you love that. So
Yeah.
Let's see. So I think I don't want to get too much into spoilers, so we're going to curb this discussion a little bit. But the previous girl, at the very beginning, Sean Young's character said that the previous girl jumped off the roof, right? Mm-hmm. And so my thought was, I wonder if that girl had kind of resisted the power of the house or the isolation or whatever forces were at work. And it seemed like Darling was almost kind of embracing them. But stuff happens. I don't want to get too much into the end of it, but it's just an interesting. It's not super like up for debate. I mean, you see what happens. Something clearly happens. There's no question about that. But what happens after that, there is some question about that, I think. So I think that's kind of an interesting. It gives you enough, but leaves you wondering a little bit at the end.
There were a couple shots in this that had a slightly the symmetry gave me that Kubrick feel, especially that hallway. And there's
Yeah.
that banister shot when she is just staring through the railing on the phone. You guys
Yes.
know where I'm at?
Yeah.
And that
was perfectly
one-
framed her eyes.
when she's just the lighting is unreal and her face just takes on this completely different dimension just from the shadow. And that, I think that was like my favorite scene in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Was just her on the phone staring down the camera.
Yeah, very cool scene. One of the highlights, that hammer in the mouth scene.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. When I saw that, I thought of Old Boy. Yeah, and that scene.
Kinda hard not to.
Yeah.
It was very audition-y.
Yeah. There's the.
That's sort of the place that I wanted this to go a little bit. Not that I was complaining in a time of like having to commit, 50% of your day when you go see a movie in a theater now. A 78-minute tight running time, but I would have liked to have seen her compressing a little more decompressed. Like I would have liked to have seen her living a little more nuts, and I think part of that problem was the narrative constraint of like the chapters and the real jumpy like you almost assume that there was some stuff like in between, and I would have liked to have seen some of that stuff, I guess. Like Audition really is giving me a good talking point for like what I would have liked to have seen a little more. I would have liked to have seen her be a little more bonkers, like before that last act happened, in the cool Polanski-esque hallway scene and stuff like that. I would have liked to have seen her living in that skin a little more.
Well, I mean, I thought that was kind of her fighting against the influence of the house, that she is more reserved because she's at least slightly resisting that influence.
I mean, I won't disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there were notes of Audition, just a hint of Hard Candy, but it was an interesting take on the whole revenge girl idea.
Let me read some of the comments in the chat room real quick, and then we're going to go to a verdict. Melissa says, "Is this guy a Hitchcock fan? I almost felt like that was the reason for the black and white, and that he referenced a few of his films." First time Michael saw the trailer, he said it looks gorgeous. And then Nathan Cottoncoy Vance Duke says Repulsion is amazing.
Repulsion is amazing.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. But then again, there's that other person going crazy element in the room that I'm always getting shit for. So
The what?
that other famous person.
Shining?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Bobby Chain says Ravenshadow
Oh.
better fucking
You
watch.
should have watched.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't see this.
I just saw it.
You gotta earn it.
No, I'm closing my eyes. I'm seeing it again.
Chain says Ravenshadow. Wait, where'd it go? He says you better fucking watch the movie this week for your appearance on Unchained.
Oh, good
because
segue there.
because you picked it.
I did pick it.
There's just because this scene is going by right now, I will say especially for the ladies that watch this movie.
That was the greatest moment
ladies.
of podcasting I've ever been part of. Sorry.
What?
You'll have to
Oh, now
watch
I'm gonna have to
Unchained
go
to see.
But no, for the ladies, there's a scene where she's putting on her makeup, and when she put her lipstick on before her foundation, that's how I knew the bitch had lost it. That was the moment when I went, "What are you doing? That's not okay."
That bitch is
See, that's
crazy.
the kind of hard-hitting commentary we just can't get on this
Yeah.
show without you.
Yeah. a female's perspective who knows exactly what the hell's going on.
Wait.
Where she
I know
loses her
Melissa's in the
shit.
chat. Melissa,
Wait.
you got to be with me on that.
She watches the movies. Ravenshadow doesn't.
You don't gotta watch the movies.
Yes, you fucking do.
Like,
What
rewind that
if?
scene
Wait.
again.
What
Ravenshadow,
if?
I'll just slip you my notes later.
Thank you.
It'll work.
Where's
No,
your
no,
notebook?
don't
Yeah,
do that.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
What if we don't let you in the studio if you don't watch the movie?
I'll fucking get in.
I'd love to see you try.
Not I'll watch the movie.
I don't know.
I'm gonna fucking get in.
I'd rather watch Ravenshadow try and get in.
Melissa says, "I felt it was anxiety she felt."
Me too.
Can someone kill me?
And Melissa also says, "I think they handpicked her. They wanted that person that would descend into madness to feed the house." That was my take.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah, she was definitely chosen.
And Melissa also says, "The dramatic pauses were too long for me. I understand it fit with the film's mood and pace, but not for me, and felt it's been done. Sorry." All right.
Your apology accepted.
And Nicholas says, Darling looks great. I love the black and white, and I'm really interested in seeing this. And first time Michael says, the points you guys are describing about the movie do feel very 70s horror.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
it was like a little too on the nose, like the ending and, some other odds and ends.
Yeah.
But, I
Well, even down to the closing credits,
I
where
was
it's all done in pink script, just like Rosemary's Baby.
yeah,
This
I
is
was
the
really
end?
torn with this movie because this is not my type of film. So it's hard for me to review it. The only thing I didn't like I can. It's one of those things where I could talk about more that I liked on a technical standpoint. But then you get to the point like, would I recommend this movie? You know what I mean? Like, would I recommend this movie to somebody who it's not almost masturbatory of it in its like referenceness? Like, I'm just not sure. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this one. It's a weird one. It was a bit for me to get get through it, not because the runtime and not because there was anything the matter with it, just because like. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty open to most things, but this is just not my
you
type of cinema.
Pull back the curtain a little bit. You were dreading watching this.
Yeah.
You told me because you're like, this isn't my type of movie. And like, where did that come from? Because,
well, I made the mistake of like doing a little of the type of research I generally don't do. Reading some reviews up front and stuff like that, and. What I hope for when I fuck up like that is that there's something there that isn't in those reviews, the good or bad. And that wasn't necessarily the case this time. It was exactly like from talking to you, I actually got some hope that it wasn't what I thought it was, but it was exactly what I thought it was. So I think that like, it's just a weird thing. This would be like reviewing. I can't think of a like comparable genre like most Woody Allen films. Like I think Woody Allen is like technically a director that I like very much, but the content of his films don't hold any interest to me. Polanski also, that's like. Another director who I am like, I think his films are very pretty, but like content wise, they don't always do very much for me. And I feel like this is kind of where this one sat.
Well, let's hold that thought real quick, Dynamo, because it is 10:30. We're supposed to be connecting up with our interview now. So we're going to go to a verdict, and then you can get your last final thoughts out after.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. Why don't you go ahead and continue, Dynamo, and give your verdict?
Tepid treat.
All right, Jenny?
That was like a marzipan kind of treat.
A Dynamo marzipan treat.
Definite treat.
MZ.
This was a very good treat.
That's it? Wow.
Well, I guess we're doing short
We thought we were
reviews. So
Yeah, after.
This
Short
is because
verdicts.
today, Junior.
Yeah, normally you have like a long diatribe. All right. For me, this was definitely a treat as well. I think this is an incredibly well executed film. And I think despite focusing on one character, I was always engaged and never, I felt the conceit never got tired. And I think that was mostly because of the way this film looked and the performance. I think that what I wanted after seeing Pod, I definitely felt the hand of an art house director, and it feel like it was a little out of place in Pod, but I think it's absolutely perfect in this film, and I can't wait to see what he's going to continue to do. Like, I'm super looking forward to Carnage Park. I think that's going to be a really fucking cool film, especially after seeing this one and knowing a little bit about what it's about and some of his influences. So I'm really, really excited to see that. So
If I can add to mine too,
please, yeah.
Since we didn't take up all our time yet, if you are thinking about watching this movie, when I turned it on, I went into this movie wanting to hate it. I watched the first 15 minutes going, what is this artsy-fartsy crap? And they won me over. So if you're questioning it when you turn it on, give it at least the first 20 minutes, half hour. It will win you over.
The only thing that I would say that I wish they didn't do was give you that warning on hallucinogenic and strobing images.
They probably have to.
That's if you were epileptic, you'd probably be grateful.
Well, I think they have to.
I say if you're epileptic, that's your own fucking problem.
Yeah,
Go fuck yourself.
my girlfriend's epileptic. What if I punch you in your big double chin?
No, not my double chin.
Caveman weirdo.
But an epileptic dog.
Yeah, well, what happened if we said this doesn't contain peanut butter?
Right.
Or this contains peanut butter?
Let's give him a peanut butter treat.
Remember the fudge you ate that day?
Yeah, I mean, you went to the fucking emergency room for cheesecake softcore.
Yeah, I remember.
No, you're fine.
All right, so there you go, everyone. Varying degrees of treat, but it was a treat all the way around.
Treat.
No, you don't fucking get one. You don't get a review.
Yeah.
No, I saw the boobs.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You saw them for a second.
That was enough. It's more than I did in high school.
All right, we need to cut to a break. We're actually a little bit on the fence of what we're gonna review next week. I think I have the film picked out, but I'm gonna hold off on announcing it just yet because we may do a swerve. We may do a seventh round swerve, as MZ likes to do. But we are going to have a guest in studio. We're going to be joined by Jarrett Blinkhorn, who he's actually friends with both Mickey and Joe, who we interviewed last week, and he is the producer of Joe's film The Mind's Eye, and he's also a filmmaker himself, and has done a couple of shorts, and he's a pretty fucking cool dude. So we're going to be hanging out with Jarrett next week. He's going to be in studio, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Now we have to cut to a break because we're going to connect up with JV and I believe Alex as well from Scaricon. They're the promoters. Are you going to hang around a little bit longer, Jenny, or do you have to run?
Yeah, I'm going to stick around. I told them I was coming in late tomorrow.
Cool. All right.
Nice.
We're going to have Jenny. So we'll cut to break. We'll be right back.
One dark and stormy night in the mid-'80s, Joe Bob Briggs, Harlan Ellison, and the ghost of El Santo pulled a train on Elvira while Siskel and Ebert sobbingly masturbated in the corner. From that union arose the greatest movie critic and luchador that ever lived. But we're not going to talk about him. He's kind of a dick. Instead, we're going to talk about me, El Goro, the stuttering movie fan and host of the Talk Without Rhythm podcast. Every week on Talk Without Rhythm, I discuss 2 to 3 movies tangentially tied together by a theme. I cover action.
I'm the most complete fighter in the world.
Sci-fi.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Horror.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
And the continuing adventures of James Spader, sexual deviant.
You're not worried that I'm going to fuck you, are you? I'm not interested in that, not in the least. Now pull up your skirt.
So check me out at tworpodcast.blogspot.com, drunkenzombie.com, or subscribe on iTunes. Talk Without Rhythm, the only podcast that will not attract the world. Adios.
This is Robert E. Runsky Jr. from the Television Crossover Universe podcast, and you are listening to Unchained on the Grand Guignol Network.
Welcome back to Trick or Treat Radio. Contrary to what Robert E. Ronsky just played, I played the wrong ID, so you're not listening to Unchained, although you should be on Monday morning. So, all right, we are going to connect up with the promoters of Scaricon. MZ, you went to Scaricon in, was it Saratoga Springs? Is that where it was?
That was in... oh Jesus! Now you got.
It was in New York.
It was in New York. Yeah, Veruca.
Verona.
Verona. Yeah, Verona, New York.
So why don't you talk a little bit about your experience there while I connect up with JV?
Okay, well, it just so happens that, my work sent me there because I was getting an award for where I work, and it just so happens that it was the very same weekend that the Scaricon was going on. So it was a big surprise to me. So, while I'm there for my job, I also stay a couple days at the Scaricon, which I had a blast.
Awesome. Well, let's connect up with JV. I'm not sure if Alex is going to be with him, but we'll connect up and find out.
Yep. And saw a lot of celebs there that I've never met before, which was also real.
That's nice, yeah.
Which is always a nice treat.
Absolutely.
And some of the same people that were there are going to be there again at the New England Scaricon.
All right. We're now joined by JV from Scaricon. How you doing, JV?
Great, guys. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
My pleasure. My pleasure. An honor to be on the show.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Is it just yourself or is Alex as well?
Actually, Alex is vacationing in Florida, so it is just me.
Well, good for Alex.
I know, right?
I'm sure he's going to be glad to get that in before the craziness of the con season, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yes, absolutely. And just before we got you on the air, MonsterZero here was just talking about he went to Scaricon in Verona this past year. And was just talking about how great of a con it was, and so this will be our first Scaricon that we'll be attending, the one in Springfield, at least for myself. So I just want you to go ahead and tell the folks that are listening a little bit about Scaricon and what makes it, what sets this apart from some of the other conventions that are out there.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's really a labor of love for me and everybody else who's involved in putting the show on. We're fans, first and foremost. We love horror films. We also like pop culture stuff and some nostalgia, and it all comes together very nicely in a great format when we put it together at Scaricon. And what we try to do is we try to, there are a lot of cons, obviously. There's a lot of things going on. And we try to make ours as intimate as possible. Sure, we like to have crowds, but we don't like them to be so big that people don't get good access to the celebrities we've got.
Right.
And more importantly, they don't feel so overwhelmed by people that they can't hang out and socialize and get to know fellow fans, other people that share the passions that they share. And so we focus a lot on not only the celebrity aspect, but we also have a very robust programming schedule. We do panel discussions and Q&As and film screenings, and then we also spend a lot of time to make sure our after con parties are set up so that they're not only fun, but they're a great opportunity for people to meet fellow fans and get to know each other. And the celebrities hang out at the parties too, which makes it awesome.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a fantastic time, and you guys are starting to announce some of the celebrities, and I've noticed a few of them. Let me pull up the list here real quick, and I just noticed today you guys announced Glenn Hetrick and V. Neal, who folks who watch Face Off would know them as two of the panelists on that, and they're also very, very well known in the makeup industry as well on their own, as have won Emmys and on all kinds of awards and worked on some very big films. So very cool to get them. We also have looks like Ernie Hudson, Adrienne Barbeau, Margot Kidder, Derek Mears, Jason Hawes, PJ Souls, Christy McNichol.
Yes.
Felissa Rose. You a big fan, MZ?
I am a Christy McNichol fan. I got to meet her at the one in Verona, and she's an absolute sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart. She's so nice, so friendly. Absolutely.
That's great. And Jordan Ladd, and then you guys are also having the 30th anniversary reunion and a screening for Night of the Creeps, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it was tough to get all of these. We have 4 cast members coming, and it was tough to get all 4 of them. And it's really the top 4. It's Jason Lively, it's Jill Whitlow, it's Steve Marshall, and it's Tom Atkins. And I don't know if the 4 of them have actually appeared together before. I don't think so. And Jason couldn't remember if they had. He didn't think they ever had all been together at the same time. So we're really excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, that's great, and especially with the 30th anniversary, and it's such a classic movie. I know.
Great.
Yeah, I know a lot of us, grew up on that movie, so that's going to be a great time right there.
You think Tom Atkins is already sick of saying "thrill me"? I have to apologize. I missed the first part of this interview. I thought that my headphones were broken, but I took them off in the break and couldn't figure out who Wolfie was fucking talking to.
Nice. You're getting the part of the guest list that I'm excited about, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy for us in Worcester. No comment.
And we also have, there's a Mystery Science Theater 3000 reunion. Jenny, I know you're very excited about that.
I am so excited that the Mads are my heart.
Yeah, Trace and Frank have become very good friends of mine. I've had them at the Verona show twice, and I've actually been out to visit Trace in Minneapolis a couple times. Frank's in New York City most of the time. I get to see him there. They've become very dear friends, and they are so much fun at a convention, and they're the most down-to-earth, humble, fun-loving people you'll ever meet. Really terrific guys.
That's awesome. I got the opportunity to interview Trace a couple months ago, and he was an absolute gentleman. Yeah. Consummate professional, wonderful person to talk to. I haven't gotten to meet Frank yet, but I do actually cosplay TV's Frank, so that may be something that happens. I might have to a meeting of the Franks.
I can tell you that it makes me feel strange.
That is awesome.
Very conflicted Dynamo.
Yeah.
And then we also have, there's a reunion and screening for Frankenhooker.
Oh, yeah.
MZ, I know you're a big fan.
I feel like MZ and Jenny programmed this company.
You know I'm going to be all over this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, because the only Frankenhooker person that I've met is Zachary. And he had a small part in the film as a weatherman, but I've never met Patty Mullen, and I've always been a big fan of James Lorenz as in Frankenhooker, especially in Street Trash.
Oh yeah,
his comic timing is impeccable, and looking forward to meeting these two. It's going to be a fascinating show. I cannot wait.
Yeah, James doesn't do a lot of shows. So when I reached out to him about coming to this one, the fact he lives in New York State, so he's not too far from both Verona and Springfield. And when I reached out to him, he's like, geez, I could probably drive to those. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead. And I was really psyched because it could have just as easily gone the other way. And we still would have had Patty, but the fact that he's coming makes it awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely. It definitely ties it all together, having both of them there. That's fantastic. And as we mentioned Glenn Hetrick and V. Neal, and they both have worked on, just to name a few of the films, the Hunger Games series, Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis, The Amazing Spider-Man, Beetlejuice, Sweeney Todd. So they worked on some...
The Demon Barber, Fleet Street.
So some pretty huge movies. And also Cleve Hall is also going to be there, who worked on Ghoulies. MZ, I know you're a big fan of Ghoulies.
Well, yeah.
Growing up when I was learning makeup, Venial was like in the pantheon. That was praying to Venial every night. Please.
I was trying to figure out why Jenny was here when everybody else was here, but she's just gonna start showing up to be like, like, no, I'm on Trick or Treat Radio all the time.
I was always here. You just didn't notice.
The good part is that that's a lateral, very upgrade trade. So.
Yeah, and then the last guest that we have on the website, anyways. I'm sure there'll be more announcements to come, but last one is wrestling superstar Greg the Hammer Valentine, who Dynamo has shared a locker room with before.
Yeah, he's. I would like to say that I got to know him a little bit, but 24-year-old me was really intimidated by like the amount of like people that I grew up with that were like if I wrestled in Los Angeles, it would be all little skinny guys like me, but because I wrestled in New England, like you got Tony Atlas running around and Greg the Hammer Valentine is tighty whities running around, hung like a Shetland pony.
Yeah, you were intimidated in more than one way.
It's true. Now, I'll tell you this. I know why they call him the Hammer. Brutus Beefcake sleeping.
And we're big wrestling fans, so that's it's very exciting to see that Greg the Hammer Valentine's going to be there.
Well, you know what? If I'm not a big wrestling fan, I have to admit that. But I found that New England, wrestling is huge for you guys. I mean, it really seems to be very popular.
Yeah.
I know, a lot of the shows bring wrestlers in, and we have always brought one or two into Verona when we can. Like we had Hacksaw and we had Honky Tonk Man and had a few others throughout the years. But when I announced the Hammer coming to New England, that there was this uproar of support, and I was like, wow, this is cool. I like it.
Yeah, especially that area too. I think there's a lot of wrestling shows in the Worcester area, but I think like Springfield, there's kind of like a hub out in Western Mass of wrestling out there. So I'm sure that has something to do with it as well.
Yeah, it's like I was saying the other day, where they think the space program is fake and wrestling is real.
Yeah.
And just looking at this roster so far, JV, it's very diverse. I think that's one of the really cool things. You have someone like Ernie Hudson, Adrienne Barbeau, Margot Kidder, and you have some of the more recent stars in the horror industry like Derek Mears, and then you have a very nice coverage of the last 30 to 40 years of horror, and you especially get especially with the Mystery Science Theater reunion as well, with the Mads reunion, like you get a little bit of everything. Was that one of your goals in trying to book this show?
Yeah, absolutely. We do try to spread it out. We try to give everybody something that they'll be able to really enjoy. If they're not a huge horror fan, there's the Mads, there's nostalgia. If they're a huge horror fan but they're more modern, we try to have something for them. If they're classic horror, we try to have something for them. We really do try to spread it out. But what we also find is that when we put these people together on a panel and we have them talk about a topic, like say we have a Scream Queen panel and we have Adrienne Barbeau and Felissa Rose and Jordan Ladd, you get so many different perspectives on the topic that it makes it really fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that brings to mind, so we've talked about the stars that are going to be there. What are some of the other things you guys have planned for Scaricon New England? You mentioned some panels and some screenings, so let's talk a little bit more about those.
Sure. We're going to have a full complement. Now, we'll have 3 breakout rooms that'll either be showing films or having panel discussion and Q&A sessions from the moment the con opens until well past the con closes. We'll be showing movies, I think, right up until midnight. For those who'd rather go to see a film than go to a party. Mm-hmm. But we have every celebrity will be either involved in a direct one-on-one Q&A so that people can just ask away, or they'll be part of a panel discussion, or both. Most of them will be on one of each. They'll do their own Q&A, plus we'll put them together in some form of a topic panel discussion that makes sense for them. And those will all start being announced within the next 2 weeks. We're putting them all together now. And then in addition to that, we've got some local filmmakers coming to show some of their new stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fat Foot Films.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, they've got a couple new films that they've asked to have us show, and we love having the local filmmakers involved. So we're going to be bringing them out. Showing some of their stuff, and a couple others from the region. We're bringing some films in. Plus, we'll show some classics, and the classics will relate to our celebrity lists. Obviously, we have the reunions that we've talked about, but then there'll be some more, like, I'm not sure if we're going to show Sleepaway Camp, but that would be a good example because Felissa Rose is there, and she'd love to talk about the film before it shows, that kind of thing. So we're putting those lists together as well. In addition to all that, obviously we have the vendors. We've got a great assortment of vendors. But in the evenings, we have parties. And the VIP party is Friday night. That's for VIP ticket holders. It's an open bar, live entertainment, all the celebrities there. It's a good 2-3 hour event. After that, I'm sorry?
That you were singing my song, Open Bar, and the celebrities are there. I'm in. That you got me. Right? You got the hookup with my tickets, right?
You're perfect. And then that'll spill out into kind of just an open socializing party that'll be Friday night. Saturday night we have it's kind of a costume party, but it's certainly not required to be in costume to be in it. And that's a Moss band and a bunch of most of the celebrities will attend that as well. And that's where everybody gets to meet their new best friends. And they go home and they met for the first time. We've made some lifelong friends having these parties.
Could I meet some new podcast co-hosts?
Dynamo, I'm right here.
Oh, I know. Well, you can stay.
One of the things that we've done really successfully at the New York show at Turning Stone Casino is we started a filmmakers track. So we've actually become kind of the upstate New York hub for local filmmakers, and they come to Scaricon not just to meet and mingle with each other, but we have a whole education track related to filmmakers, and we're going to incorporate some of that into this New England show as well.
That's very cool. And that's something that, I mean, of the conventions that I've been to, I've never seen anything like that. So I think it's a really interesting take on it. And, you know, like, certainly, like, if you can go hang out with celebrities, have fun, meet new people who are into horror, and learn something, like, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, and it's that education component. Not only do you learn something, but you actually meet people that you can connect with to
network with,
help each other. Exactly, the networking is huge, and some really successful projects have come out of it, and so we're pleased to have been a part of putting people together that way.
Yeah, it's incredibly cool, and it's just really cool to hear that you guys are bringing it to New England now too. So you've been doing it in Verona, New York for a few years now. Is that right, JV?
Yeah, this will be our 6th year in Verona. And, you know, we have had intentions to bring them around the country. There's so many shows that we try not to step on anybody's toes. You know, it gets a little crowded at times, but we had such an outcry, especially from like the Boston area and, you know, Eastern Massachusetts, of people wanting us to bring a show that way. And we thought, you know, Springfield's perfect. It's kind of at that crossroads of 90 and 91. So north, south, east, and west can get there pretty easily.
Yep.
And it's a great facility, and they really welcomed us. So we're excited to be there.
Just to read a couple of the comments in our chat room right now, we have Michael says, "I'm jealous. The Night of the Creeps movie reunion sounds awesome." First time, Michael, you should make some plans and come out to Springfield. And we have Melissa, who's in Florida, says, "What? Mystery Science?" Nathan Cotton Coy Vance Duke says, "Frankenhooker screening." Bobby Chains, who is local, he does a podcast on our network, and he says, "I'm sold." And then Los Cretan, who is nearby, says costume party. So it seems like there's a lot of interest.
And most importantly, me and Jenny are going to be there.
Exactly.
And Wolfie too.
You heard that? He said he's buying me a ticket.
Yeah. So
we do have a request. Michael asks if you can do a show in the Midwest.
Tell Michael, you can hear me, I'm sure. We would love to do one in the Midwest. In fact, we're going to take it a step at a time to expand these things. And it sounds like we're going to have a great New England show. Assuming that that's the case, we'll definitely be starting to look west.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's incredible. So what was it, just the, you know, kind of the outcry of people saying, hey, bring this to New England, that inspired you guys to look into doing that?
Two things. One is we had an outcry. A lot of people were making the trip to Verona, and I hope they still do, because we like having them there as well. But they kept saying, have one out here. You know, New England somewhere. Massachusetts was really what kept coming up. But secondly, I've just seen, you know, when I do a couple podcasts as well.
Yeah. I
actually own some like terrestrial radio stations. That's my primary business.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. And so I do a lot of market research and this kind of thing, and I realized that something about Massachusetts, Connecticut, New England in general, the horror fan population is tremendous. I mean, it's really, really amazing, and it's wonderful at the same time, because, you know, where I am in upstate New York, Syracuse area, you know, we've got a pretty good horror fan base, but not nearly what you guys have. It's something about New England. Just New England loves its horror. Yeah, absolutely, and I'm not really sure what it is either. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, the links to Salem maybe have something to do with it, but you know, I mean, obviously that's just one town, like North Shore. You know, like, I'm not sure, you know, what it is, but it certainly draws a lot of horror fans out. And, you know, maybe it's just how old, you know, how old this area is and all the history here, that, you know, there's a lot of stories to tell. I don't know if that just gets people thinking or talking, but there's definitely something in the water here.
Well, we get 18 months of winter a year, so we're dark people. We're already pretty sketchy.
I think you hit it on the head right there. Whatever it is, it works, and we love it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Definitely, you guys aren't complaining at all, I'm sure.
And not only that, there's a notable dearth of horror events around here. I mean, if you want to go to a comic convention, there are a dime a dozen, and not that they're not great. I enjoy all of them. But then we have Rock and Shock, but not a lot of other major horror events. Yeah. So I think that there's a big need for it. Which, by the way, Rock and Shock is a terrific show, and I've gone the last few years. I love the show. I love the people they bring into the show, and we're real big fans of that show. Yeah, absolutely. We've been there for the last, well, I guess not really several years, since the beginning. One of our friends is created it, so you know we have been certainly going there, but it'll be nice to get a nice change of scenery and to get some other stuff in there.
One of our keyboard players, multiple personalities created, actually. That's exactly what happened. You may remember, depending on what day you catch him,
Yeah.
who he is.
So do you guys, obviously you have a lot of stuff going on. Go ahead and tell folks about the event. Obviously, with the dates, where they can get tickets, things like that.
Sure. Well, everything is right on the website, which is scaricon.com. There are two events being promoted there, the Verona Turning Stone event plus the New England event. So you got to make sure you're looking at the right one.
Mm-hmm.
But the basic schedule for the New England event is opens on June 3rd. That's Friday at 5 o'clock. The convention floor will be open until 9 o'clock. And so it's kind of an abbreviated day for Friday. But then we have the VIP party at 9 o'clock Friday night. And then at 11 o'clock, the VIP party ends, but then it's just kind of a general hanging out in the bar kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, the show opens. This is June 4th at 11 a.m. It'll run till 7 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, the costume party starts. That'll be held at the Sheridan. No, I'm sorry. The costume party is going to be held at the Mass Mutual Center. The VIP party will be held at the Sheridan.
Okay.
And then Sunday, again, it opens up at 11 o'clock. It closes at 3 o'clock, and then we all sadly go home.
That's the worst part about the weekend.
It really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
and like I said, we're working on details of panels, Q&A sessions, film screenings, all that. It's going to all be posted in the next week or so. So all that detail will be up there.
Excellent. So people can go to scaricon.com for updates. And obviously you guys have the Facebook page as well. That's where I first saw the announcement of V and Glenn going to be there.
Yep. It's just facebook.com/Scaricon.
Okay. And I'm kind of curious, JV, how you got into this. So, I mean, obviously you had said you do terrestrial radio, you do podcasts, which is phenomenal. But how did you get into the business of doing horror conventions?
I along the way of being involved in radio, I also started becoming in addition to being a horror fan, I became a fan of paranormal reality shows. And I happened to decide to go to an event, a paranormal event, and I hooked up with Jason Hawes. We became very good friends. This was about 10 years ago. Okay. And so he asked me if I was helping him out. I'm trying to make this short. He asked me if I'd start helping him out. And part of me helping him out was to go to, I went to Dragon Con with him. And I started going to these events with him to assist him and to help organize and promote. And I realized these events are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And, and I did a couple of the horror events. And the first one I went to, I think it was Monster Mania. I'm like, holy crap! I never knew this even existed.
Yeah.
And this is my world. Where the hell have I been all this time? So I also realized very quickly there wasn't anything like it near me, being up in upstate New York. So I said, damn it, I'm going to start one because there's nothing here, and there are a lot of people who like horror around me that I know. And hell, let's make one happen.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it. It was purely because it was so much fun. And I couldn't be traveling all over the country every weekend as much as I wanted to be. So I said, hey, let's do one here in our own backyard. And I had the radio stations. I had 6 radio stations in Syracuse, New York at the time. And I had a great way to promote them to start it. And that's how I got into it.
And I imagine that, because you are kind of tuned in, with the radio stations and stuff.
Well played.
It wasn't intentional. I'll take it back. But, and obviously it probably wasn't that difficult to get, sponsors and get a hold of guests and stuff like that for you. Did you find any challenges with that, or did you feel you were pretty well prepared?
Well, I will say that anytime you're starting a show, I mean, there have been so many promoters that have done what are less than ethical things that celebrities are more and more wary of just saying, okay, even, it doesn't matter what the numbers are, you can promise them the world. They've been promised the world before, and they've shown up somewhere, and the promoter has taken off, and they've never gotten, any of their money, let alone the world. So, they're skeptical, and it was tough out of the blocks to get going. But fortunately, I did have a reputation that I could rely on in business, and I could demonstrate that I was a legitimate business person, and that helped. And then after with me the first time, then the word spread like wildfire. Hey, this guy is the real deal. He lives up to his word, and the show, they took care of us. Everything was great. So once you get one under your belt, it helps a lot. And as far as sponsors go, yeah, I mean, I've got quite a client base for the radio stations, but I couldn't translate that all into the show itself, because a lot of them don't get it. They don't realize that it's fun. They're thinking, I'm going to go there, I'm going to see guts and blood all over there. I don't want my product associated with, they don't understand it's really more of a love and of horror, and just a gathering of people who really just have similar interests. So once they get that figured out, then they tend to get on board. But that wasn't easy right away.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I think probably one of the good things too is we've actually had some resistance in talking to some other cons. I don't think they quite understand the power of podcasts.
No way.
Or necessarily, because coming from a radio background, obviously terrestrial radio is way different than podcasts. It's the art form is similar, but they're very different. But obviously, I think you have a sense that podcasts each podcast has their own community, and those communities branch out. And we've tried to get in with some of the other conventions. We won't name any names, but they don't quite understand what a podcast can do for them.
No, they don't get it at all.
Yeah. And there's for instance, there's Horror Hound in
Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis.
And Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And it's in both of them.
But it's that
actually.
Indianapolis one that Wolfie's talking about, that the podcast community, that's there.
Yeah, there's a huge contingent of podcasters that go, and all of them are talking about it on their shows months leading up to it.
Right.
And even I certainly don't am not saying we have a ton of pull, but we did get a tweet today from someone coming from Chicago, and when he found out that we were going to be there, he's like, I booked my tickets and my hotel. I'm going to come and hang out with you guys.
That's awesome.
Cool. That's pretty cool. And even one person, and they're going to tell other people, and even in the chat room right now, we have some people talking about it. And, certainly not patting ourselves on the back, but just saying that the power of communities, it's not necessarily podcasting. It's the communities that build around them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very important, and a lot of folks don't get that. And just in our brief interaction, it seems that you do.
I'll tell you, I've got two things to say about this topic. One is, and this may say it all, I've been a terrestrial radio station owner for nearly 20 years, and I am in the process of divesting of terrestrial radio and building digital broadcast studios specifically for podcasting, because I understand the power of, and as somebody who's been in radio as long as I have, one of the things that used to be so wonderful about radio is that it was community based. And as you know, if you listen to the radio anymore, it's not community-based anymore.
Right.
And I think podcasting is community-based, but it's not geographic communities. It's similar interest communities. Mm-hmm. It's topical communities. So you've got a community. It's a horror fan community, as opposed to the local radio station that may have a certain city as its community. It's just a different type of community. But it really traces roots back to what radio used to be, and it's no longer. So now it can be done in a podcast format, and the community is defined differently, but it's still a community as you described, and it still has that intimate one-on-one feel that old radio used to have, and that's what makes it so wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing is, we were sort of talking about this last week. We talked about how we're talking about Netflix and how horror movie ratings on Netflix aren't necessarily what you should go by, but there's a service called Shudder, which is for horror fans, and those are the ratings that probably make more sense, because it's horror. It's a horror channel for horror fans, put together by people in horror. And in this case, it's we do have a lot of listeners, predominantly into horror, but we have varying degrees of interest. But definitely that connection is definitely horror. And like you said before, it was community radio, and people would listen to find out the news and the sports and the weather going on in their area, and they sort of had this community feel. But now it is that community feel, but it's about a specific topic typically, and and there can be a lot of strong bonds. We've already made some amazing friendships and relationships just in this community alone. And I think it's great that you guys understand that and are embracing it. And hopefully other podcasts can kind of jump on board and other cons can understand that.
I've never spoke about this on air, and I think I've only spoke to it with Wolfie, but I had the ear of another convention owner one day, and I had hard numbers, and they were kind of skeptical. Then that year, on our own dime, just that two of the bigger local podcast and us were there, we were outdrawing like guests as far as people that had traveled to come. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, that we had a lot of traffic. We knew people were coming just for us, and then next year, they didn't even want us again after that, and it was just a matter of like, it was just a weird thing to have, like how you guys were talking about that. Like, how can you not? There are hundreds and hundreds of shows devoted to what you're selling.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not? Like, that's not on terrestrial radio. That's not on television. That's like, like if you pull up iTunes or Stitcher and put like horror podcasts, there's thousands of them, if not hundreds of thousands of them.
I mean, that's really the core of what conventions are about. From when they originated, it was so the people from these diverse backgrounds could come together and just geek out about that one thing they love.
Right.
So podcasts kind of do that on a regular basis.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was just a weird thing to me to and it's so refreshing to hear you talk about it, sir, because I was really discouraged and down on it because I just felt like, well, if we perform well and no one cares, like how are you going to sell it to anyone?
Can I also, while we're on the subject, just because I know I saw Missouri go by, I know there's Florida, can I ask the chat room to sound off with where you're from, because it's neat to me? It's just interesting. So if everyone wants to tell me where they're from, I'm watching.
and that's the cool thing too, is people will travel for horror. Like we know people who come from out of town for Rock and Shock because we're there every year. But like already, like I said, we have one of our listeners from Chicago just booked a flight and hotel for Scaricon, and it's definitely kind of this hub where people gather around, and I think it's great that you guys do embrace that, and it's a shame for others that don't get it, because it's such a I mean, pretty much podcasting is kind of the new sexy thing right now. Almost every celebrity has a podcast nowadays. So there is a lot of saturation, but I guess it just goes to show you that it's a medium that is catching on and that it isn't going away, and it's just getting more popular.
Yeah, well, I get emails daily from newsletters like Inside Radio, all the the radio trade journals.
Sure.
And podcasting is becoming more and more dominant in the discussions in these trades, because the radio industry has recognized the power of podcasting. And I've got to say this, I've met a lot of promoters who, they've gotten, I don't know how to describe it with being nice, because I like a lot of them, but I think sometimes their own success becomes a bit of an albatross around their necks. They forget who got them there. They lose track of who helped them become successful, and they turn their backs on those people. And I think that's the worst thing you can possibly do. Shows like yours, podcasts like yours, or other fan-based media is the most powerful in our industry, and it should be embraced, not scorned. And I think sometimes some of these promoters make a mistake, not embracing it.
That's true.
That's such a refreshing attitude.
Oh, I mean, I'm really you really have my heart all aflutter right now. And over a beer, we're going to talk about this in real life, but I actually come from a terrestrial radio background.
Oh, cool.
I'm anxious to sit down with you this summer and kind of get the lay of the land, because
love to do that.
I was on a what is probably one of the most historic stations on the United States. They were the first station to play the Beatles. They were the first station to play The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Which was the B-side of,
and he played both of them. He's that old.
I'm that old. Well, it was old Dick Smith, but the The Lion Sleeps Tonight was actually the B-side to another song that Dick thought was awful, so he played The Lion Sleeps Tonight instead. But the corporate infrastructure came through, and literally because of like a demographic test that they put, like I went to work on Monday. On Wednesday, when I went in, I was told that we were going to be a Spanish channel. And I know you've never seen me, but my nice Irish complexion would tell you that I'm not Spanish. So I didn't like it. They didn't tell me I didn't have a job, but
I can say pants.
Yeah.
Que lástima dos chicas en la cocina.
So like I'm anxious because it seems weird because I love doing this, but like the community being more condensed. You know what I mean? Like everybody knew everybody else because we were all all the stations at that time. The two big stations in the city were literally across the street from each other.
Right.
So.
Well, this is very. We could probably go on talking about radio and podcasts, and it's
forever.
Yeah, it's been very, very cool to talk about with you. But to get back to Scaricon, is there anything else that we haven't covered? Is there any announcements that are kind of imminent that you can announce now, or should people just keep a look on the Facebook page and the website for that stuff?
Yeah, as far as celebrities go, we're working on a couple that we're pretty excited about, but I don't like to say anything until I've got 100%.
Absolutely.
Because I've made the mistake early on of being, having a verbal even and making an announcement only to find out the verbal wasn't good enough. I needed something in writing, and then you disappoint fans, and I don't want to do that.
No.
So watch the website. Like I said, we're going to have detailed scheduling up real soon. But the most important thing that I want anybody considering to coming to Scaricon to remember is this is about the fans. This isn't about the celebrities are there, but it's not about the celebrities. It's about the fans, and we do everything we can to make the fans feel like the VIPs as opposed to the celebrities. Because, I mean, when I have a celebrity come to Scaricon and they don't treat the fans well, they never come back to my show.
Mm-hmm.
I just won't put up with it. It's just not what the experience I want someone to leave with. I do not want anybody leaving saying, "Oh, that so-and-so was a real jerk to me." That's they paid to be there. In a lot of cases, they travel and pay to be there.
Yeah.
And they need to have people who appreciate them. So everything we do when we're putting our show together is to provide the best experience for the people that we feel are the most important, which is the fans.
That's very good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could probably speak for everyone and say that it's very refreshing to hear you talk like
MonsterZero, we're
that.
in the same place where you're like, can you tell that we're damaged convention goods? About
fucking time.
Yeah,
but you know what it is? It's also it's like you mentioned before about the kind of guests that you have to cover the certain
Can they touch me?
genres and things like that. Like when I went to the Verona show last year, I mean, I never met Christy McNichol before, and I did, and get to meet her again, which I can't wait for.
I'm sure
but
she's
also
excited too.
Her womanhood is quivering, and also I got to meet David Scahl, which I was thrilled to meet. I mean, he's a fantastic author on reference
unbelievably
books.
knowledgeable. Yeah, unbelievably knowledgeable.
Outrageous.
Yeah, it's crazy how much this guy knows.
Our shelf agrees.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of a list that you have coming up on Verona this year, because I'm heading up to Verona again this year for.
Are you Employee of the Year again?
No, I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. But regardless of whether I am or I'm not, I am going back.
Well,
for specifically for Scaricon.
Yeah, I got to tell JV real quick. So, MonsterZero here, he actually went to go to a work event in Verona, and it just so happened to be in the same hotel, right? Is that
Turning Stone Lodge Casino.
And he is he's one of the biggest horror fans I know, and we know a lot of horror fans, and it just so happened that Scaricon was going on the same exact weekend, the same hotel, so he was in heaven, and it sounds like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
If I don't die, I'm going to go to Verona too.
Yeah, and so it sounds like you have a lifelong
casinos too as well. So
from here, it's an easy trip to Verona, man. It's a straight shot, almost literally a straight shot.
Yeah. Yep.
Could you shoot me out of a cannon?
I could try. So on that note, JV, I think what we'll do is we'll let you go. Maybe we'll catch up down the road, if there's any more exciting announcements. But why don't you go ahead and just take this opportunity, if there's anything else you want to plug, any social media, even your own podcast. I'd be very curious. I'm sure our listeners would love to hear about those as well.
Okay, sure. Once again, the website for Scaricon is just scaricon.com. And as far as the podcast, I do several, but the one that I'm really putting most of my energy into right now is called Beyond Reality Radio, and it's a show that I co-host with Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters.
Yep.
And we talk about not just ghosts, but we talk about all things kind of weird and paranormal, whether it's UFOs, Bigfoot sightings, or ghost hauntings, whatever. It's anything that's weird, we're talking about it. And we're live Monday nights from 9 to midnight. 9 to midnight on Eastern Time.
Yep.
And obviously available as download as well. We take listener calls. We do the whole thing.
Awesome.
So that's the one that seems to be really taking off. I have been doing a horror-based one, but I've kind of had to put that on hold while I'm doing the Beyond Reality Radio show for now. It's just taking too much time.
Yeah, I think you just got about 4 subscribers.
I just subscribed right on air.
Cool. But I'm just really, really excited to meet all of you guys and everyone else in the area who's going to come share their fandom of horror films with us at Scaricon.
Cool.
I promise that other than 1/5 of us, you will be completely underwhelmed.
It's true. MonsterZero is dazzling in person.
Well, JV, we really appreciate you taking time, and we really appreciate you, just putting on such a cool con, and it's really refreshing to hear your take on things. And I'm sure, speak for myself and probably most of our listeners out there that it's really refreshing to hear, and it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic show, and we will be there. So we're really looking forward to getting a chance to meet with you, and then also for any of our listeners out there that want to make it, let's make a party of it all weekend, and hopefully we can get some other people to come and hang out with us, and it would be fantastic.
That sounds great. Guys, you've been terrific. Thanks so much. You've got a great show. I appreciate being on it, and you've got a listener now. I'm going to be checking it out from now on.
Well, we're sorry.
Yeah. Slow it down.
Let's apologize up front
Yeah.
and for every week after.
Don't tell him Jenny's not always here.
It's okay. It's just verbal. It's not on paper. He doesn't have to stick with it. It's fine.
That's true. Well,
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks so much, JB. We're going to go ahead and play. We have a little Scaricon promo to play. We're going to play that, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thanks again, JB. Take care, buddy.
So long.
Are you missing out? Have you heard about Scaricon? Scaricon is a fan convention for the lovers of horror films, paranormal TV and movies, and more. Scaricon happens all around the country, and you're invited. All you have to do is go to the website. It's scaricon.com, SCAREACON.com, and look for a location near you. Scaricon is full of celebrities, panel discussions, film premieres, film festivals, and more. Scaricon is the place to go if you want to meet your favorite personalities. Scaricon is the place to go if you want to hang out with people who have similar interests as you. It's Scaricon. Visit the website. Get more information at scaricon.com.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
All right.
Something's not right in this.
That was an
dark
awesome
night.
interview,
They've
man.
been calling something
Yeah, that dude was awesome.
The Ultra Mantis has its own.
Giving people a little taste there, Dynamo?
Yeah, that's the. We'll never use. That's the song I wrote for something that's never going to come out. So.
No, that was a great interview, man. He was cool.
Yeah,
very down to earth. He knows exactly what the fans want, and he's right on top of everything too. I mean, he knows what he needs to cover as far as what to bring out the maximum amount of fans out.
Sure.
And
just it's like different too. He's paying attention. He's not like, like I feel like some conventions are like, oh my God, this person's available, without the knowledge that he's doing a convention every single day that weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
That month rather.
Well, what I like about this is, and if his plan happens to come to fruition, as far as I know, this could be the only convention that would be like traveling all around the United States. Everything else is rather regional. Texas Frightmare, Horror Hound to a certain extent. Yeah, we covered Indianapolis and Cincinnati. Chiller Convention. But Scaricon, if he wants to move that from New York to New England to somewhere out west somewhere, this could be a traveling show, which would be great for the fans all over the country.
Yeah,
and you just don't see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely it's refreshing, and I know I keep using that word, but from people we've dealt with, that's a very different take on doing a convention. So
yeah,
and just looking in the chat room,
fan friendly. Who'd have thought?
I know, right?
Well, there's been a lot of shysters out there, and I've read up on some of these guys, and some of them are real assholes.
Speaking of fan friendly, you got such fucking huge lips.
Thank you.
Man, you could suck the silver off my Dodge Dart.
Is that a euphemism?
Jesus,
that's true.
He's going to hit a bullseye every time.
Goodness. You look like Fluffy from Creepshow.
You said, my goodness.
Yeah. No collagen in these suckers, I'll tell you that right
that's
now.
that.
These are
Put
all
a little collagen in there.
These are all me. These are all me, baby.
Has anyone ever tried to pay you to blow them?
No.
Because I'm thinking about it.
No.
Yeah, everyone's got a price, MZ.
Yeah.
What's your price?
Money.
Well, that first one was a freebie on that promo that we did for this week's show.
I can't fucking believe you did that. That was fucking bizarre.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get any, like...
Yeah, nobody commented on it.
It's probably
probably for the best.
Douche chills.
Yeah, well, I guess it's just another day in their lives, too.
Yeah. Oh, man. So... that was very cool. Obviously, MZ, you're the only person that's been to a Scaricon from this show anyways.
Yep.
And sounds like you're really looking forward to the New England one and then Verona again, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean...
maybe we can ride to Verona together.
I don't know if my girlfriend would allow that.
Well, I don't think she's got need for what you're selling. I don't think.
No, it's the Scaricon is a very
MonsterZero's gonna blow.
DSLs.
Look at those DSLs.
I'm MonsterZero. Don't need to change anything on that one.
Yeah, no, not at all. I know you. If I was still working, like, it wouldn't even take money. It would just take, like, a Diabolique gift certificate. You go down, like, after you ate that cheesecake.
$25 Diabolique.
He's like, man, the inside of my mouth tastes like Mars, but I just bought shivers.
Now it's my turn to throw myself down the stairs.
But I just bought a steel book of Terror at the Opera.
It wasn't so bad.
Wait, would his mouth be full of nougat?
I don't know.
if he sucked on a Mars?
I don't know. Whatever. You've done it for less.
Swallow your own yogurt.
Yeah.
What?
Ravenshadow blew me once for half a Subway sub tuna fish sandwich.
What time that happened?
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't see you on Maury Povich.
I'm coming in late. What the fuck's going on?
That's what happens when you smoke, Ravenshadow.
No cancer.
Oh, that's next.
It's a matter of time.
Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
What's this?
What is that?
I'm just gonna play wrestling themes the rest of the show.
Who the hell is this?
It says it's Ted DiBiase.
What? Junior?
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. No, that Eyes of Righteousness. Who's this?
That's not Ted DiBiase.
What are you looking at me for? I have no idea.
Who came out to this, Mars?
I have no idea.
I know who this one is.
His induction as Stan Hansen was awesome.
Although here's the best. This is the best entrance theme song ever.
Thinking it back to the gothic lifestyle of the early 90s.
The gothic lifestyle.
Wait for it.
You used to dress up like the Brood. MZ did anyway.
Yeah. I had a Gangrel shirt.
No, you had a pirate shirt.
I had one of them too.
Dressed like Neo.
MonsterZero's like, you could take the red pill, or I could blow you.
Or you could take the Mars bar.
Yeah.
Jakey Pooh's hanging out in the chat.
Hey, buddy.
And Jakey says MZ equals Virgil.
Nice.
Hey, MZ need fuck money.
Yeah, MC was a Virgil till he was 25.
Oh, and then Jakey says that Mars bar.
Don't look at me like that.
Did you wink at him?
I'm just trying to figure out, not with my eyes.
Oh God.
I feel extremely unsafe. I need an adult.
Yeah, me too.
You're not going to find any here,
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Can you excuse MZ? We're gonna go play Anaconda, and he's Ice Cube.
Hey, let me ask
this
you
time
something.
Ice Cube beats the Anaconda.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You want to play a game called Rape?
No! Why? Why would you say that?
What?
Nobody wants to play that.
That's not a game. That's not a game.
You don't want to
I
play?
hope that's an acronym.
You don't want to play?
Yeah, for
That's-
roving adventurers participating.
No.
Everyone.
No.
It's like splunking.
You want to play Rape?
No.
You want to play a game called... That's a spirit.
Stop.
That's
you
a
can't
spirit.
say that.
That's a
You
spirit.
can't look, Jenny.
Don't make Jenny leave.
Don't make her leave.
Well, I missed it.
Don't leave, Jenny.
What?
I
Stop
call
talking.
foul.
Are you serious? You don't get it?
No.
You said no.
I asked you if you want to play a game
Stop.
called Rape.
Stop.
Will you shut up?
Stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
I'm trying to explain to him. Shut
Don't
up.
explain the joke.
I feel like when Ravenshadow says it's inappropriate, that's when the line has been drawn.
Rape and Shadow.
No.
Hey, come on. Let's stop fighting. Not on Ron Perlman's birthday. All right?
You could suck the paint right off that can.
Jakey says MZ gonna give Dynamo the $1 million dream.
The $1 million cream.
This got dark.
I don't know. My spirit
It was-
was raised.
JV's listening in and he's like, unsubscribe.
Let's go back out smoking again because that was fucking. This is.
Don't leave us, JV, man. Don't leave us.
Hey, can
It's
I
going to
ask-
get better, I trust. Trust me.
No, it's not. It's gonna get worse.
I have a question for Jakey Poo that I didn't ask on. I didn't want to ask on the Cult of Muscle because it wasn't very muscly. But message me in real life, Jakey Poo. I'd be interested to see where your Alkaline Trio love dropped off. Yeah. Something that he spoke about on this week's recording in the Elm Street Kids. So I'm interested.
We got a nice email from JV, and he said, "Thanks, all. That was awesome."
Hopefully, he was emailing and not listening.
It was before. It was before.
Yeah.
And they said, "Let's do it again if we get a chance."
Expect another email saying, I'm quitting you guys. Forget it.
He said, "Just kidding." Yeah, just kidding. Is it April Fool's still?
Jesus. No, I'm looking forward to ScaryCon. I'm looking forward to the New England show and the Verona show. They're going to be a blast.
Very cool.
They are going to be a blast. I can't wait.
We have a ton of voicemail to get to. We have a ton of voicemail from Nick.
Yeah.
But Nick knows we're not going to be able to play all of his
Shouldn't we?
voicemails.
Do we know some of it that we shouldn't play?
Yes.
Well, I asked him. He said no. He said there's nothing that we shouldn't play.
Yeah, so play only like 15 out of the 16 that he showed up for us.
Does anyone have like a D20 we can roll to pick one?
I think Johnny has an app on his phone.
I thought Mars was going to pass out.
If I had my bag, I would have one because
actually wondering if I.
Yesterday was game day.
Nathan Cotton Vance Duke says, "How old is MZ supposed to be again?"
MZ
Why do you ask? I'm going to be turning 45 in a couple of months.
Jesus Christ! I still can't believe that.
I know, right?
You're like,
It's so funny. I'm
44,
45.
44 going on 15.
Yeah, right?
Grampy.
I can't believe I'm 45.
He's put on chapstick right now.
It's not chapstick. It's Burt's Bees.
The numbers reversed.
Yes, I'm 44. I'm 54.
Okay.
Chapstick.
How long does it take you to do that? That small thing? You need one the size of like a.
He's getting his lips ready.
you need a chapstick thing the size of like a speed stick bar.
That was a little bit sexy. Just a skosh.
I just pretend this is your Pekka Dynamo. Okay?
What? Gee, what the fuck happened?
Oh yeah.
We leave for 2 minutes and they run amok.
You guys just scared away first time, Michael. He said, "Catch you later."
Yeah,
not yous guys. These guys.
Hey, not yous guys over there.
So,
Johnny Lips.
You're here.
I hear you. Lips manless.
Mars, we have an answer from Jakey Poo.
Okay.
It was mostly after From Here to Infirmary.
Oh my God, that's a fucking masterpiece.
They dropped off big time after that. God damn it. Maybe I'll Catch Fire.
Yeah, that was. I did not. Well, Maybe I'll Catch Fire was before From Here to Infirmary.
I Lied My Face Off EP and For Your Lungs Only EP are still so amazing.
Yeah, they're
Don't
great.
dig on the glam punk silliness.
Fucking last time, Mike.
I thought it was fun when they threw on a little more eyeliner.
Yeah, I
it
like
was a
that
nice
too.
transition.
But I mean, I didn't like the album. I didn't like Remains. Was that the album after From Here to Infirmary? The one with I like Emma, but that's the only song I really like on it.
I'll be honest, I would suck the sweat out of Matt Skiba's underpants. I don't care what he's saying.
That's the only thing I don't like about him. Like honestly, like my problem with Alkaline Trio of the two main songwriters, like one guy, like the guy who really speaks to me in that band looks like Lurch, and the guy who like doesn't speak to me looks like Evan Bourne. Like I want to fight him in the road. Or Matt Seidel, actually, whatever you want to call him. But like, I'm having trouble with names. But Crimson, I like Crimson. But then again, I'm a big eyeliner wearing, Depeche Mode buying, seen The Cure a whole bunch of times, goth kid. So
I love me a set of fingerless gloves.
yeah. I mean, I'm in the Deadites for fuck's sake. What happens? But like, thank you, Jakey. I was interested. That's what I was afraid of.
Yes.
But man, From Here to Infirmary is a masterpiece.
Well, I said after.
His next comment, he's saying everything from Good Morning onward sounds nothing like the band he grew up with, and that's legit. That's fair. They did evolve. They did change. So if you're really married to that early sound, like I could see maybe not following along with them.
I got dumped by the Robot and then went to Newbury Comics and heard From Here to Infirmary playing on the, like how they would play like music, and I was like, this is the record for me. So I actually jumped in From Here to Infirmary. So I did, like I only knew them before from the band that played with Hot Water Music. So,
real quick, there was some good stuff going on in the chat room while we were talking to JV. I just want to highlight some of the things. And first time Michael says, I agree about the podcast too. I've gotten into a lot of horror, books, and RPG podcasts lately, and the community has been cool all around.
Yeah.
We have Jethro Namacon is from Missouri, because you asked the question, Jenny.
I love that. Now that dude, I love.
Jethro Namacon?
Yeah.
First time Michael is from Wisconsin.
I love my first time Michael as well, but we haven't had a lot of time to be intimate.
Melissa's from Central Florida.
She knows how I feel.
Originally, well, I'm not asking how you feel about people. I'm just telling Jenny where they're from.
I'm giving you my commentary.
In the map.
Central Florida, originally from Connecticut and New York.
That's interesting.
We also have Slagoth is Freehold, New Jersey born, now lives in St. Pete, Florida, miss New England so much. And Jothanomicon says, I live in America's heartland, the boot heel.
That makes sense about Slagoth. You don't get a fucking warrior like that from Florida.
Jethronomicon says, you know the movie Gone Girl? That was shot in my little town. If you see
Really?
the movie, you've seen my hometown.
Oh.
Did you play trivia at Ben Affleck's bar? Batman's bar?
Derek Rook says, it's hard for me to believe that I've missed Frankenhooker for all of these years.
What?
Come on.
Come on, Derek. Get on it.
Slagoth lived in Danbury and New Fairfield, Connecticut, then Beacon, New York, dragged kicking and screaming down here when I was 12. And also Melissa says, Verona show is on my birthday. Maybe I'll meet you there, MZ.
I wrestled the shit out of Danbury. There's a lot of shows up
Dan Barry?
Yeah. I wish I wrestled that guy.
Oh, okay. First time Michael says, nah, I'll listen again. Thanks, Michael. We weren't sure. We were a little afraid.
Hey,
last time, Michael.
Carrying on my tradition of recommending a particular podcast episode, not just a podcast. I can't pin this down to just one, but there's a great wrestling network called Pro Wrestling Only. It's part of the Place to Be Network Nation. And all this month, all their shows, they had, with all their community, they had a ballot for the top 100 wrestlers of all time. So all the shows are going through and making their top 100 list. They're like going through their ballot. And it's really interesting to see the sensibilities of a different community, because a lot of the things that we hold dear, they, like for them, Shawn Michaels, garbage. Like not interested at all. Like in like as a community, like every single like podcast, it's very very strange. It was really interesting to see. You know, like Playboy Buddy Rose was in almost everyone's top 10. And for me, who didn't ever watch any of that Portland stuff, obviously, because I was from here, only know him as like a, you know, the other guy, the guy in Sherry Martel's tag team in AWA. So super interesting, but like if you are a wrestling fan and especially traveling, like I think I counted, and not even all the shows have done it yet, there's about 56 hours of content that you can dig on throughout your long day or whatever else. So that's the Pro Wrestling Only Network, the Place to Be Nation. You can get it on iTunes.
Cool. All right. Jakey Poo says, off to bed. Take care of you filthy animals.
It's true.
Some filthier than others. All right. So we have a ton of feedback to get to. And like I said, I don't think we can get to it all tonight. So if we don't, we will play it next week. The week after. We actually got a ton of movie reviews from Nick, which is pretty awesome. But we're going to space them out a little bit, Nick. So just wanted to let you know, because we got a lot of Batman ones. And I think I'll play one a week on the Batman. Just leave people waiting in anticipation for the next one.
From now through August.
So let's go ahead and let's hit some feedback. First up, why don't we hear from our boy Josh? I'm really curious to see what he thought of the flick.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Josh from the Arkham Film Society here. Calling in this week to talk a bit about Darling.
Yeah.
This was a really interesting film. I really enjoyed the black and white photography. I really enjoyed the acting. I thought the story was interesting. Yes, I understand that there's so little to it. And that there are certain things that were done to intentionally kind of frustrate the viewer from a storytelling standpoint. Like there are large things just, left unexplained, like what's in the room and, some of the things that she's going through. But I think it kind of worked for the disorientation. Because I know Mickey said that, he was going for a lot of like the Polanski stuff. And the one thing I can say is that it doesn't get as tense as something like Repulsion, but I think it has an interesting effect where in Repulsion you're getting tense because of the story, but in Darling you're getting tense as an audience member just because you don't fully know what's going on. Since there is certain things that are unstated, you kind of have to start connecting dots in your head, and it kind of makes it much more of an immersive experience than just a viewing experience. So I kind of really dug that. Also, I thought Lauren Ashley Carter was really good. I kind of feel bad saying this, because I just kind of did a quick look on IMDb, and it seems I've seen her in a couple of things already, and just hadn't even remembered. I don't know. Like I said, I feel kind of bad saying that. I don't want to say she was forgettable, but I just didn't have like a real impression of her until now. I think she really stands out in this role, and I really look forward to seeing, kind of what she'll do in the future. Same thing with Mickey Keating. I really look forward to seeing, what else he's got coming out now, because this was really impressive. So I'm going to say it is a treat. It is definitely a high recommend. I definitely feel I have to watch it a second time now, so I think, I don't know, maybe that's a good thing too. Also, hey, great interview last week, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Especially with the extra edition of Joe Vegas.
Yeah.
It was actually funny because you guys might remember that last year for Rock and Shock, with the help of Jared Blinkhorn, how's it going, Jared? I think they said you were going to be involved this week. But you might remember that he was trying to help me get both Darling and The Mind's Eye for the Rock and Shock Film Fest.
Sweet.
But we just were not able to arrange that at the time, too short notice, things like that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see that these things are finally coming out and we're getting to see them. So, hey, you guys have a great show, and I look forward to talking to you guys all soon. All right? Bye.
All right, Josh. Thank you, buddy.
Who's cooler than Josh? No one.
Yeah, pretty much no one.
Especially when he finds a nice, quiet place.
Not in the Arkham Copter.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No.
He's like, hey, guys, I'm spelunking right now.
I don't know about that forgettable comment, though. I'm not feeling that. I think she was anything but forgettable.
I agree, yeah.
We talked about Potalette. Did anybody else? Jugface?
I haven't seen it. No, we originally...
No, we reviewed it, didn't we?
No, we were supposed to, and then someone didn't want to watch it, so we didn't.
It was me. No, I'll admit it.
I know
it was
I
me,
saw it.
It was me and Tiny. Like
I adored it. I thought it was
me and Tiny
fantastically done.
Me and Tiny watched it, and then didn't want to feel obliged to watch it again.
Oh, see, I loved it, and I thought she was fantastic in it.
I'll have to see it again. I mean, I remember that I saw it.
Tell folks what you're reading.
Get ready to hear me be pissed off.
Yeah, I was feeling
Next thing you know,
earlier.
What are you reading? Come on, tell people.
I'm reading DC Comics previews handout talking about all their fucking
all
new
their
titles.
changes.
Part of the Rebirth strategy.
Because there's no better podcast than someone listening to you read.
Right?
Melissa says she loved Jugface.
Jugface.
Melissa, I think I've found a new best friend here. We've been right on point with everything. She's got the Mads, she's got Jugface. Melissa, you're my girl. What's up?
Speaking of new best friend, is there still a not the one that we can't do because I can't afford it, but is there still a podcast of yours coming down the line? Like
there's some murmurs, some chatter,
Yeah.
nothing solid
A real
yet,
foxy one?
But some babes saying a lot of dirty words, maybe.
Sold.
Yeah. Subscribed already.
Yes.
Ravenshadow doesn't know how to subscribe, but he
I'm
would.
not sure, Johnny. Make the dirty words.
Oh, did you
and the
get your
babes.
email working? Am I gonna have to help you with that?
No, we're gonna talk.
All right.
I'll see you on Saturday.
Speaking of friends, it looks like we heard from an old friend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think we've heard from this friend in a while.
Yeah, it's weird.
Hello, this is Robot Zero. It's been a while since you last heard me. But I have been listening to your show on trickortreatradio.com and watching on YouTube.
Wow.
And I have a few things I want to get off my awesomely large chest. You know, the one with the oversized nipples. First, I would like to direct my opinions towards Johnny Wolfenstein.
What?
You are unquestionably the man that runs the show.
Thank you.
These losers you hang out with are holding me back.
I think you're right.
Have you ever considered leaving them behind and going out on your own?
I did.
If you do, here's a tip.
Yeah.
Shave.
Oh.
Your face looks like a vagina from the 1970s.
What?
And the ponytail doesn't help you.
What?
And neither does eating all that soy crap. Eat a goddamn steak, you big pussy. You fucking hippie.
That's one salty robot.
Next, Michael Ravenshadow.
What?
I don't know what the hell to do with you.
Not the only one.
Saying you're as dumb as a rock would be an insult to rocks. Why can't you just watch the fucking movie? Just watch the movie. It isn't that difficult. You sit in front of your TV and sit still for 2 hours. What the hell goes on in the Ravenshadow that prevents you from accomplishing such a menial task? Is there a lonely case of beer in your fridge crying for attention? Is your hair in need of a perm? Do you look for cigarette butts out in your backyard in hopes to inhale that last bit of nicotine into your lungs?
One time.
All that tar and shit. You banana-fingered asshole. Now, MonsterZero.
What?
You and I have had quite the relationship some years ago.
It's true.
We fucked and fucked and fucked some more, and I'll just say this.
What?
I hated every minute of it. You're a sorry excuse for a lover. You might have big balls, but you're hung like a Hershey's kiss. Your pecker is so small it's permanently erect. And I saw that tuck video you did. I have an agreement with Stephanie Wiley, and she passed the video to me. Going from personal experience, you had little tucking to do. Finally, Dynamo. Dynamo, I know you've been going through some hard times physically lately. But that doesn't mean you should hide from the camera all the time. Looking the way you do means you should hide from the camera all the time. Jesus fucked up Christ, are you hideous? Sometimes I can't tell if I am looking at your face or your ass. Especially since shit comes out of both. Well, my time is done here and I must go insult the outside the cinema guys. Later, fucktards.
Holy shit!
That's a mean robot, man.
We haven't heard from Robot Zero in like 100-something episodes.
Jesus Christ.
She comes out swinging.
3PO ain't like that. Who was the guy from Buck Rogers? Twiggy? Twinkie?
Holy
All them?
shit.
Wow.
Are you really hung like a Hershey's Kiss?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. That's a fucking bad robot.
I mean, now I just kind of want to be a regular so she'll take a shot at me.
I know.
I want to know what's coming.
She's a robot. She should have known that Jenny was going to be here.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
Kind of mean, man.
Jethro says, damn, shit is real right now. Oh, my fucking God.
Wow.
I wasn't going to drink
That is
tonight.
one angry bitch, man. I'll tell you.
All right. Well, let's get to some of Nick's voicemails. So Nick said his dumbass forgot 2 films on the Friday the 13th list, so he did it again.
Hey guys, it's Nick. I fucked up on my last episode recording of the Friday the 13th movies. I forgot 2 movies for some reason because I was looking through my letterbox, and it's probably because I don't like Phantasm. So here we go. 1 through 12, 1 being my favorite, 12 being my least favorite. So here we go. Number 1, Friday the 13th, the remake. Number 2, Freddy vs. Jason. Number 3, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Number 4, Friday the 13th, part 2. Number 5, Friday the 13th, the original. Number 6, Friday the 13th, Jason Lives. Number 7, Friday the 13th, part 3. Number 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Number 9, A New Blood. Number 10, Friday the 13th, part 5, A New Beginning. Number 11, Jason Goes to Hell. And the piece de resistance, the worst Friday the 13th, in my opinion, is Jason X. Jason Goes to Space. Todd Farmer, what are you thinking? Alright, that's it. I redid it. Whatever. I fucked it up, so I tried to redo it, and here we go. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to run out the clock. Unga bye.
Unga bye.
Am I the only one on Earth?
Your mic's off.
Am I the only one on Earth that enjoys that movie?
Which movie?
Jason X.
You know what?
No, actually, if you look at the DVD back cover, Tony Timpone praises it highly as well.
He's the man.
Yeah,
so.
I just feel like I always, when people like pan those Friday the 13th movies, like I feel like the review of them should be like, it's simple. It's either not for me or for me. You know what I mean? Like these movies are dumb. Like all they are is about this guy killing people and different ways. Yeah, that's pretty
I
much
mean,
what they are.
I get the joke. I get the joke of Jason X, but it's just such a poorly constructed joke.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't. It's just not enjoyable.
It's not my favorite, but like I do like it.
Melissa says it sucks. Jason X.
I mean, if we're ranking for comedy value, I'd put it in second.
I mean, that's
right
what
behind Jason Takes Manhattan.
the Friday the 13th films as far as comedy value goes.
Yeah.
You'd rank it high.
I'd say
for hilarious. I mean, unintentional hilarious, but still.
I mean, especially when you put them
Yeah.
regards, it's only pair, which is those like soulless, terrible late cycle Nightmare on Elm Street films, like the from like the Dream Child up, like with like fucking nothing's going down, you know.
Chocolate Beast says the only good thing that came out of Friday the 13th was Teal's song Crystal Lake.
Well,
wow, it's a pretty good fucking song.
It is a good song,
It's pretty good
but I think
song.
I think more than that came out of it.
Chocolate Beast.
Oh, see, Jethronomicon is calling out Jason Takes Manhattan. I love Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah,
it's
I
the
do
funniest
too.
thing I've ever seen in my life.
Jethronomicon says it was the worst.
There's
Jason
one
Takes
thing in
Manhattan
Jason
is awful.
Takes Manhattan that got me almost kicked out of the theater once.
I know exactly what you mean.
Literally, my friend Scott Stewart was dragging me out by the ankle. They made me go out into the thing, the scene where the guy's on the roof boxing him.
No.
And he goes,
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, he goes, give me your best shot, Jason. And then you see his head flying over the side of the building and goes in the dumpster. I don't know, other than when fuck, I just drew a blank. The famous comedian showed up in Lost Highway, and I thought he was dead. He had died before that. What comedian's in Lost Highway?
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I thought Richard Pryor had died. And then he came out in Lost Highway, and I had a total fucking breakdown.
He was in Lost Highway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an auto mechanic, like. It was the first time you could get ice cream at the theater, and I literally had this weird foamy substance coming out of my nose from the ice cream, like I was.
All right, so let's hear. Nick gives a Beverly Hills Cop review.
Oh, nice.
Let's hear it.
Hey guys, it's Nick. I'm gonna do a quick little review on the. Fuck you, lady. I gotta go first.
Don't get in an accident.
Fucking hit record. Beverly Hills Cop series, Uno, Dos, and Tres. The reason I'm just gonna go real quick because I gave them all the same grade, oddly enough, and I know that's bullshit, but they were all pretty good, so I all gave them B+. I thought they were very fun. 3 is probably the weakest. It gets a little like, I mean, it was cool them fighting in a amusement park, but yeah, they were fun. I liked the 80s action. I love 80s flicks, especially 80s action flicks. They're fun. Like I said, yeah, it's all about a B+ for me. First time watch for all of them. I think I've seen a little bit of 3 before, because when he was jumping on those that spider ride thing, I remember seeing that probably on Comedy Central or something. But no, they're fun. Like I said, give them all B+. Eddie Murphy's fine. Judge Reinhorn's fine. I always think of Judge Reinhorn because apparently, I'm sure it's not they didn't use his voice. They used some voice actor. In the Clerks animated series that was on ABC for like one fucking season, they had the Honorable Judge Reinhorn, and it was just Judge Reinhorn as a judge. So I always thought that was funny. But yeah, they were okay. That's about all I have to say for them. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Yeah, I love those
Cool.
movies.
Yeah, they're fun. I haven't seen them I haven't seen them in a very long time, but I remember being very fun.
We went through them. Me and my special lady friend went through them last year.
So things took an interesting turn on the Fib a few days ago. There was, I'll just play the voicemail. I think this is related, but I don't think it was anyone in our community. But Nick got, I think he felt people were ganging up on him, and because I love Nick's reviews, I love that he calls them in, I love his passion, and I think that I think something rubbed him the wrong way, and he thought that people were ganging up on him, or something like that. But let's hear from Nick and find out what happened, what went down on the Fib.
Okay, here we go. Last one I did was super angry, so this one's gonna be super normal. This is Nick, and I get it. I went a little nuts, and I said, screw the group, I'm done. And here's the thing. I love this show. This show, this show really helped me. I don't have a lot of friends, and I enjoy this show. It's funny. It's my type of humor, and it's and I enjoyed the group a lot, and I get it. I went nuts. I got to grow up. I get that. The reason I went nuts is just because I feel like anything I say about a movie, I get attacked about. And you know what? I got to grow up. Everyone's got their own opinion. I get that. I just feel like I don't want to call in anymore. It's not fun anymore. Because anything I say, it's going to be like, well, fuck this guy. He doesn't know Carpenter. I fucking watched every Carpenter movie. I have the right to have a say in the movie. And you know what? I'm not going to come do voicemails attacking movies anymore. I get it. Phantasm was supposed to be a joke. It went haywire. And then I took it even farther, which was stupid. So I deserve it. I'm completely taking blame for that. But I didn't even think I did a bad thing with The Fog. It's an average film to me. But you know what? Everyone deserves their own say. So this is my own say. I'm going to keep calling in, and I'm going to keep doing reviews. Yes. I don't care what anyone fucking says. If Johnny doesn't want me to do or Dynamo, I'll stop. If anyone in that runs a show wants me to stop, I will respectfully stop.
I want you to go forever.
I will. But if you want me to keep going, I'll keep doing movie reviews. And you know what? I don't like everyone in the group, and that's fine. I don't. I still feel like it's some weird, like, well, this is this group, and then this is this group. And I don't like that. But that's my 2 cents. You can play this if you want. And you know what? I'm sure I'm going to get backlash up the ass in this, but I don't care. This is how I feel. I love you guys. Bye.
Good for you, brother.
Seriously? Like, Nick, that's the fucking passion, man.
Yeah.
We love it. Like, I don't think, I mean, we may give you shit on the show, and it's a jest, you know?
Yeah,
and
we give each other shit on the show constantly.
If you only heard the half of some of the stuff we've given each other.
Yeah, everybody, that's the thing about this, is that everybody is open game, you know, and we dish it out to everybody dishes it out to us. You guys dish it out to each other. We dish it out to each other. It's and everyone is fair game. And if you want to lay into somebody, you go right ahead, brother.
Everybody talks about the contentious chemistry of MonsterZero and I, but like, you know, somebody was saying the other day, like, oh, I feel like you and like Tiny must get along real well in real life. But Wolfie can tell you that like, there's nobody that says worse things to he and I than he and I. Like it's like it's like really, really like bad. You know,
you guys have knockdown dragouts, and sometimes
you
don't talk for days.
Yeah, it's bad. Like we've had we were talking about this in regards to something else, but if people only knew the amount of times that we hit this stage, and the closest thing we had almost hit before that was each other, like they would be surprised. Like we've gone up stage and like come out hugging and done our whole slapping everybody's hands on the way with our entrance theme and everything else, and did our Shawn Michaels and Diesel pose on stage and like all the shit we do every show. But like, you know, it's gotten heated, you know, but it's because we fucking mean it. You know, when MonsterZero and I almost got kicked out of a Mexican restaurant for fighting about House by the Cemetery, it's because we both meant it. You know, like, and it's just passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you love something, say you love it. If you hate something, say you hate it. And if somebody disagrees, at the end of the day, we're all a bunch of nerds fighting on the internet anyway.
Yeah. And I'm totally open. Like even the Fantastic Four.
Well, yeah, he is bi, so
Yeah.
he's totally open.
Yeah, even the Fantastic Four thing. I said I would totally give up my tiny white doll if I'm
Takes all
wrong
comers.
about it. Huh?
So the thing is, Nick, man, we love your voicemails. We love your passion. We consider you a friend. Like, seriously. Like, I
dude.
know you said that, you may not have a lot of friends where you live. You're our friend, man. Like,
But that's outrageous, Nick, because you're such a cool, funny guy. Like, you're probably just looking for your outlet.
Well, that we just called out the map, so we know you've got friends all over the country.
Yeah. And that was right there. That was, he cut a fucking promo. Like, that was,
Yeah.
that was a promo, Nick. You should think about going into wrestling, buddy.
Wolfie, when did I meet you?
96 or 7, I think.
So how old was I? Around 25?
700.
225, I think.
So Nick, I was about your age when I met Wolfie, and I literally had, and this is no exaggeration, I had a friend. I had one friend. So, I feel you, man. But this community, which is an extension of our community here, the community on the board with dudes like Slagoth and Jeremy McFarlane and all those guys is an extension of our group.
The Denny's table.
Yeah, our group, and how that expanded to Jenny and Myra and Jim Smith, and how it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just and Joe and Tom and the OTC guys. You just got to do what you love and, do it. And then people will, if you're doing it in a way that you mean it, sometimes that will rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, this is real talk, Nick. I used to care what people thought, and then I got to a point where I just didn't give a fuck, and things got a lot easier after that.
Oh, yeah.
So just be yourself, man, and we want you to call in. If you hate a movie, tell us you fucking hate it. Even if it's I'm going to say 2001 is one of my all-time favorite movies. If you see 2001 and you hate it, tell me about it. I don't care, because that's your interpretation of it, and no one is right or wrong. And I love it, man. So keep it up. We got some thoughts in the chat room. Let me read real quick. Tom C says, "I know how you feel, Nick." Bobby Chain says, "I'm a Nick fan."
Mm-hmm. In Nick, Bobby Chain says that to me all the time. That's not just here tonight. He literally tells me that a lot.
Melissa says, "Never grow up, Nick. And yes, you have the right to your own opinion 100%. I love your messages." And Melissa says, "I respect honest opinions. You should always say the truth on how you really feel." And then Jethro Nomicon says, "We love you, Nick. Don't ever change. Fight the power."
Yeah. I mean, it's also worth saying, not to be a contrarian, but or not to be Tom C as it is, but it's also worth saying that
Tom Contrarian, is that what it stands for?
is that you have the right to say it, and I have the right to dispute it, and we have the right to talk about it.
I'm going to steal something from El Goro. He always calls it the great discussion.
Yep.
In terms of podcasting and talking about films, and this is what it is, man. It's a discussion. You're going to have people that feel strongly about a film one way or another, and they're going to tell you that they think you're wrong. That doesn't mean you are. You just don't agree with them. And that's perfectly fine.
And a lot of time they're not necessarily, most people, at least in our group, I feel, is enlightened enough to not mean you're wrong. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Just
they may say that, but they may not mean it.
In lack of another way to word it. You know what I mean? It's like a knee-jerk reaction, but the reality is that they disagree. You know what I mean? But it's you're not very. I get so stressed out in those conversations because what happens is I'll say something, and if Ledger isn't there or something to have my back, while I'm typing out my response, 7 or 8 people will say, something different and bring it in a different direction. So sometimes you just fucking say and type what you do because it gets fast and furious.
Nick, I agree with you, man. I mean, I'm not a big Phantasm fan, just like you, and believe me, I get tons of shit about my feelings towards Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Trust me.
We had a whole episode on it.
Trust me.
You had to defend
your
yourself.
legendary debate is still brought up on other shows.
Well, I'm glad to see I've got such staying power.
Yeah.
It's no butt crack.
Butt Crack is a great flick. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
But believe me, Believe me. And I am definitely in the minority. Even if I didn't have this show, I would still be in the minority. And people would let me know about, what the hell's the matter with you? You don't like Halloween. No, I don't like Halloween. And I get that all the time. And I've learned to live with it. And it's an opinion. It's based on opinion. Opinions are never wrong. Ever, ever, ever wrong. I've been telling these people that for the longest time, and I always
You're wrong.
Shut up.
And I'll tell you, MonsterZero,
But-
I never get sick of hearing you talk about movies, whether you agree or not.
Well, thank you.
Especially
never
when you're
get
saying
sick
it
of
through a
hearing you be
mouthful of my
wrong.
cock.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some more messages from Nick.
A
So
little pinch between the cheek and gum,
So we'll
Oh, I don't think I like the lights in Halloween.
Jesus Christ. So I brought up El Goro a couple minutes. You guys want to hear some fucking feedback from El Goro?
No shit, El Goro.
Sure.
Trick or Treat Radio!
Yeah!
Sorry, can't get as much enthusiasm as Jakey Poo, but then again, who really can?
No
It's your
one.
boy, El Goro.
Yes.
Still ripping off Jake, but I'm gonna keep going anyway. Yeah, just finished listening to your Baskin episode. Thought I would drop you some feedback since
Thank
I
you,
don't
sir.
do that all that often. I feel bad about it. First, random comment about Baskin. Don't want to go into it too much, other than to say that really, really enjoyed it. Really encourage people with an eye towards slightly more extreme entertainment that they definitely check it out, particularly if you are a fan of Lucio Fulci, because Mars was right on, man. This really does feel like the spiritual successor to the Nightmare Logic films of one Mr. Fulci. And as a random comment, spoiler free, but just wanted to say, I think you guys in subsequent rewatches should take a closer look at that very Tarantino-esque scene in the restaurant before, because I think it actually stands as more than just casual character development. And if you look at the placement of the individuals, you look at some of the stated character aspects of them, particularly of Yavuz, is that what's his name? I'm probably fucking up his name.
No, you got it.
But there is an interesting sort of callback to the characters as they were presented in that opening scene as to how they were presented in the climactic scene. So yeah, very big fan of Baskin, and looking forward to watching it in the future. Other stray observations, there actually was intended to be a Spy Hunter movie, and it was going to star The Rock. Didn't end up coming out, kind of went into development hell, but I do believe there was a poster, because I'm looking at a video game tie-in they made, Spy Hunter, Nowhere to Run, and Dwayne Johnson is right in the fucking cover of that, so I have no doubt that they probably put out a promo poster at some point, or maybe that's just what Ravenshadow's thinking of. And I gotta say, it's a little weird that my kayfabe nemesis, MonsterZero, was putting out a lot of opinions that were pretty much the same as mine. Much like MonsterZero, I think there is a lot more to Serbian film than its exploitation reputation would simply have you suggest. There's a lot that you can kind of delve in on that movie, and it's more than just, a casual fucking exploitation endeavor. I'm looking forward to one day kind of parsing out my thoughts on that. And I'm right there with MonsterZero, man. Fucking Halloween 3 is the best of the franchise, and I will brook no disagreement about that. If you want to disagree with me about that, I'll see you in the cage, motherfucker. All right, that's it. You guys are doing awesome. Looking forward to your next episode, and looking forward to checking out Darling. Adios, brothers.
Me too.
Awesome. that really brings up the rent on this show. So
Am
thank
I gonna
you,
have to
El
go
Goro.
in the cage with my tag team partner?
You might have to.
It's weird though. I don't know.
Tag team partners do fight.
I don't know that I don't think Halloween 3 is the best of the franchise. I just don't necessarily think of it as a Halloween film. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like
I would agree. It's not. I mean, I think it's cool that it exists.
Yeah, I love it as a film alone.
Yeah.
Like Tom fucking Atkins.
Yeah. I love that it exists, and I kind of like that it is part of the Halloween franchise, but it doesn't really share anything with the others. So
it's like the first Friday the 13th. Like every single time I go through those, I almost never like if I watch the first Friday the 13th, I watch it just in a weird I haven't seen this in a while. Like I'll never be like I'm gonna watch the Friday the 13th films, and I don't start with number 1 because for me, Friday the 13th is Jason, and for me, Halloween is Michael.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, thank you, El Goro, for taking the time, man. We really appreciate it. I know you're a busy dude. You got a lot going on.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. And we appreciate you taking the time to do that, and we loved hanging out with you this past week on your show.
I'm so honored every time Unchained or the Cult of Muscle.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a dickhead for not giving feedback.
Well, not even just feedback. Like I don't know. Like I know. Like I'm not fishing for compliments here, but like I just feel like what we do is so like natural and not like has like zero nutritional value for anybody outside of this table. Like I just don't know why Unchained would want us, or you know, like why Jakey Poo would let me like think I could sit in fucking CDR's chair. That guy's a dynamo of action
he is a dynamo.
So
well, speaking of, that's a nice segue, Dynamo. Do you want to hear from your boo?
I do.
Your bae?
I do. I was so nervous because I've done Cult of Muscle with CDR, but I had never done it with just me and Jake, and like I was really nervous that, you know, he's gonna hate me.
Yeah, he's gonna hate you.
Not to sound like a 13-year-old girl.
I know, right?
But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like,
Jakey pickup?
Yeah, like those. He offered. Yeah. That end of the table can no longer complain.
Yeah, we went through this.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Jake.
Trick or Treat Radio!
It's your boy.
Yeah, Jakey.
Jake Poo.
If you're nasty.
Sending you some feedback. Like I do. This week, or more appropriately the past couple of days, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls.
Nice.
Which is a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of the Souls.
You're probably dying a lot.
Series. If there was one thing that I ingest pop culturally, whether it be movies, TV shows, even wrestling or whatever, the one thing I would want to share with everyone that I care for and hold and love dearly would probably be Dark Souls, because it is, you know, A, not everyone plays video games. 2, the ones that play video games don't always want to play video games that are as difficult as Dark Souls, but man, the wealth of riches visually and game design wise, it's monumental. It's spectacular. It's amazing. And it's such a joy to play. I don't know if any of you guys play it. If you do, you know, feel free to give your thoughts about the new game or any of the other games in the series or whatever, but I have a feeling you guys either don't have the time for it or whatever. Yeah, been playing a lot of Dark Souls. I watched The Invitation this past week. I watched it on the General VOD, and I liked it. I really liked it a lot. I do want to stick up for my boy, my boo, my bae, Dynamo, who, during your guys' review of it, had some moderate reservations as to the suspension of disbelief with it, because the general setup of going to a party with your ex-wife after the thing that happened, I mean, I already have one foot out the door. I'm already ready to go.
Exactly.
But as soon as someone's getting slapped or some of those weird things happen, I'm fucking gone. I'm gone. And, you know, the degree to which everyone was just okay with it, I don't know. I don't drink a lot of wine. Maybe when you get wine drunk, you just kind of roll with that shit. Maybe it's just LA. If it is, I don't want to go anywhere near Los Angeles. But at the end of the day, I still enjoyed it a lot for what it is. I think it's a movie that the more you think about it, the more it sort of unravels logically, especially when you start to analyze the sort of inner machinations behind what brought them there, why they're there, why the things are happening, for what reason. I have to be intentionally vague. it gets a little flimsy, but it's honestly not that big a deal. As long as the movie works in and of itself, and as long as it doesn't push you over the edge in regards to suspension of disbelief, which I think it came dangerously close for me, as long as it just doesn't tip over that edge, it's okay, it's fine, it's storytelling, it's movies, that's just how it's going to be. So I watched The Invitation, I like that a lot. I watched a couple other recent VOD-ish horror films. I watched The Girl in the Photographs, which I liked way more than I thought I would. It's getting a lot of crappy reviews, so maybe I'm a little alone in my a tepid treat feelings about it, but a pretty good surprise. And then Hush, which popped up on Netflix Instant, is definitely worth tracking down. That is by the director of, I believe he did Absentia? I know he did Oculus, Mike Flanagan. That one's really good. I enjoy that quite a bit. I definitely encourage your listeners to go check it out. But that's all I got to say. I got a question, a random question. I don't know why it popped up. Probably because I saw that picture of MonsterZero hanging out with a couple wrestlers from his younger days. And I don't know, I guess that just set me on a train of thought. I don't know. But my question to you gentlemen is, who was your first kiss and how was it? It's a simple question. Just an innocent question. Looking forward to your answers. Looking forward to the episode. Looking forward to everything about your show. So take care, guys. Peace!
You're far too nice, Jakey Poo.
MonsterZero's lips are really permeating the the podcast.
He's thinking about his first kiss and how much he's looking forward to
He's
it.
licking his lips. It's gross.
I am too.
Is it considered kissing when you're sucking a Mars bar? So to answer your sort of first question or point about Dark Souls, I am a pretty avid gamer. Not as much these days. I have not played Dark Souls, mostly because I've heard how difficult it is. I work with a lot of people that play video games, and I've heard a lot of stories about Dark Souls, and I just haven't had a chance to dive in yet. But I am curious, and I probably will eventually. Has anyone else? Jenny, have you played Dark Souls?
No, I think that the man wife has dabbled in it a little bit. I haven't gotten to it.
All right.
I've been playing Final Fantasy.
Now to his other question. MZ.
What?
His other question. Who'd you kiss and
why are you asking me first?
Because you're the one with the DSLs.
Oh, Jesus.
This girl in Canada, you don't know her. You don't know. It's hard dating Cheryl Teagues.
No, do I remember my first kiss? Yes, I do.
Her name was Christine Kamish.
Three guys get that.
Was it good?
I think so.
He seemed to like it.
Yeah. I was there.
That's
you think I'd remember it, but yeah.
Everyone got mad because I was sticking my face in the casket, but
Well, you're not supposed to use your tongue with grandma.
What am I supposed to use like names or something? Or?
No,
we shouldn't say
no.
names.
No,
we shouldn't do that.
Even though he asked, we shouldn't use names. Ravenshadow?
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Aries won't let him forget.
It was on my.
Did his beard tickle?
It was a little bit. You know what I mean? No, oddly enough, it was coming back from.
Aries got a tongue.
Wrong noun. No, it was before high school, right? And I came back from actually having chicken pox. It was my first day back in the ring, and it was nice welcome, little how do you do, welcome back.
Little how's your father?
Yeah, so it was nice, little special lady friend, and I dropped the ball, and I could have did things sooner, but I was nervous, so.
Oh, okay.
Peeling back the curtain.
If we're gonna drop ages on this too, we might as well, I guess, huh?
Jesus Christ. Who cares?
I don't know.
Well, apparently Jakey Poo does. He wouldn't be asking.
The year was 1932.
Well,
I was
The talkies are
the
going to ruin
Dust Bowl.
pictures.
I was 25.
War was looming over the Pacific.
I'm not even going to. It's too easy. I'm not going to say anything, MZ.
What? I was 25 when I got my first kiss.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was actually.
No, you edit this out, John. You were 15.
I was.
You were 15.
I was 25.
You messed the number up. It's not 25. It's 15.
No, it's 25.
No, I love Italian.
Believe
So
me,
do
it's
you.
25. I know I was there.
No, that's not true stuff.
It is true.
I know.
He's tried so hard.
No, MZ, it was 25 because I know when you were 15 you couldn't have paid for that.
Yeah. I didn't even have a job yet, man.
Jenny, I know you're. It's up to you if you want to answer.
Yeah, sure. 7th grade, his name was Matt, and lack of experience suggested it was good, but in retrospect, probably not.
Wow, Jay's going all out.
Yeah,
You lived
Jesus
on
Christ.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I think that I don't think any of us can hang with that.
I doubt he's listening. And if he is,
She doubts he's listening.
He's
'cause
crying right now.
She killed him afterwards.
He's like Steve Buscemi in fucking that movie.
She's like, I killed them, then MZ kissed him in the casket.
6 out of 10 could use improvement.
He's probably like,
oh man,
shit! I gave that bitch 10 seconds of my life.
Yeah, man.
All right, Mars.
If a girl gave me a 6 out of 10, I'd feel like I got an Academy Award. So Tiny always says that this makes me a scumbag, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not from the part of the world that everybody accuses me of being from. And in my neighborhood were these two amazing, like they were really good friends of mine, Italian twins. Right, I was about.
Jenny perked up.
I was older.
Tell us more about
I was
these
older
twins.
too. I was about 13, and to this day, they hated me because I never like pursued it after that one went so obvious that they liked me because
Pity kiss?
because I didn't know which twin I had kissed. To this day, at the age I'm in now, I don't know if I kissed
number 1 or number 2.
Yeah, no idea. C or R. I have no idea like which one it was. Like in seeing them older around sometime, like I should have. I was lucky to even know them, let alone they look like supermodels. But like it was like completely like I called like, and I think I might have known, but then I called and I was like talking to I'm like, Tiny, I just kissed a girl, and he was like, which one? And I was like, I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to give any names. I don't know if I was 14 or 15, and I honestly don't even remember it. Like I know maybe that's sad and maybe
Casanova.
No, it was like almost 25 years ago. Like I don't fucking remember. So I'll go with probably okay. I probably was ecstatic at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I didn't have to think that far back.
No, it was so far ago. It was so,
Come on,
it was so young.
It's okay to lie sometimes.
Damn it, you were 5 years
I don't
old.
lie. I don't lie to that.
She was
shit.
36 and you were 5. All right, this is the story.
All right.
Actually, I was almost arrested. She told me she was 13. She told me she was 36.
Hey!
We heard from Frank Castle. You guys want to hear from Frank?
Nope.
No.
Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh my God.
This is Frank Castle.
Oh shit.
That's right.
It is Frank Castle.
The Frank Castle.
Oh man.
The goddamn Punisher. And when I'm not out killing fucking Russian mobs, triads, and the hand, I'm listening to Trick or Treat Radio. And what do I hear tonight? Fucking upset me. I hear Michael Ravenshadow.
Listen.
Didn't watch the fucking movie.
Frank.
Oh
again.
shit.
Ravenshadow.
Oh shit.
Frank.
Don't make me come over there.
Oh shit.
Don't make me fucking do it.
Oh my God.
I'm on the goddamn edge. Watch the fucking movie next time. Or I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Ravenshadow.
Wow.
I'm fucking scared, Johnny. I'm sleeping in the studio tonight.
I know. I can smell it.
He's scared straight.
Listen, I think it was a nefarious plot by Jigsaw.
Scared straight.
He's
Hydra.
Googling the instruction manual for his DVD player right now.
Jenny, how do you Google?
Darn, we'll work it out.
Google how you Google.
Which button is that?
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more from Nick. Let's hear from Nick.
This is Nick, and this is going out to the Trick or Treat Radio universe. I will always fucking hate Phantasm, and I am fine staying heel. Dynamo, I love you. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Fucking heel. We got another one from Nick.
Hey guys, Nick here. So by now, you've already played in this episode or next episode my hate voicemail, and I just want to apologize for that because yeah, I mean, the group's for fun. We all love movies, and I get passionate about it sometimes, and I fucking go nuts and scream and yell at members on the group because I'm an idiot. So I just want to apologize to, I believe it was Chris and Jeremy McFarlane, because they're right. I'm wrong, of course. It's...
Stand your ground, Nicholas.
They're movies. They're fucking movies. And there's no sense in me to go nuts about it. I love that we're all passionate about it, and let's stick to that. Like I said, you're going to get my hate scream voicemail, but I'm apologizing for that, and I'd like to be accepted back into the group. If not, that's totally cool.
You're always there, baby.
But yeah, I'm an asshole, so.
Nah, you know.
Just, I'm not saying I won't blow up again, but I hope I won't, so I'm just saying. Chris and especially Jeremy, I'm an asshole, so sorry guys. Have a great one. Nick out.
I don't want to speak for them, but I don't think that's even necessary, buddy. You know, like I liked your passionate email, your passionate voicemail. I liked it. You know, I love hearing that passion, man. So don't stop. We love it, buddy, and we love you. So keep it up. All right, we got a couple more to get to. Jeez, let's hear. You guys want to hear from Bobby Chains?
Yeah,
always.
All right.
What's up, Trick or Treat Radio?
So
it is
Bobby?
Mr. Fucks Up a Free Lunch and the Applesauce Boss, Bobby Chains. Sending a special shout out to y'all cats over at Trick or Treat Radio, especially Johnny Wolfenstein, who helps produce our show and makes us sound better than we have any right to. I also want to give a special shout out to
Thanks,
Dynamo
buddy.
Mars, who appeared on this last week's episode.
total
Justice
honor,
will
man.
be slurred. You are amazing, man. I love you, man. Anytime you want to come on our show and make us sound a lot smarter than we are, we welcome that. We're not going to talk about this coming Saturday's recording because we have Michael Ravenshadow on. He picked the movie.
Maybe.
Are you going to watch it, or have you watched it?
You ain't fucking
Answer
Frank
now.
Castle. Don't fucking tell me.
You just fucking eat your small pizza. The week after that, we will have MonsterZero on Unchained, and we will be reviewing Mondo Magic.
Yeah.
The shit dildo movie, as he's coined it.
Yep. Good.
And we'll also be having a conversation about Mondo films.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know where I am right now. I'm locked in a room somewhere with Mrs. Lemon Tot. All I want to say is that you guys have done so much for Unchained that we have no way to truly pay it forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to set $100 aside this week, and we are going to give $100 away to the greatest submission that we have on the show. I don't even know what a submission is. Like, is it going to be somebody tapping out? Is it somebody can win $100 if they just send us a fucking email or let us know. Like, let us know you're out there. You could fuck, you know.
Just put Jenny in a Kimura.
Michael Ravenshadow.
I have no
Let
idea
me get
what
a
happened, but I
slice.
think I'm rich.
Chang Gang out.
I think I'm rich.
I'm gonna shut this off.
Ravenshadow. Show him how to shut it off.
I fucking
No, he won't know. We got a quick follow-up from James.
Good.
Oh, forgot to say our email. It's thechaingang@gmail.com. So, and then we'll have non-chain gang judges judge your submission. So it could be a freestyle. It could be, I don't know. What else you got?
Can I enter?
Thing? I don't know. Like anything. Like, you can also email us pictures of that thing too. Like, I don't know, nude photographs of your girlfriend. We like that. What are you talking about?
What the hell? Dynamo, you think we can answer that? I could use some help paying for the internet this month.
Yeah. We'll just save those shekels, Chain Gang.
So there you go. If you guys want to email Chain Gang and leave some feedback.
I'm going to give Michael Ravenshadow a rolling Zack Sabre Jr. style armbar.
No.
And then you'll tap out, and it'll be the best submission, and we'll split the money.
It's like you're speaking Vietnamese right now.
We should just send a video, Mars. Let's you and I go give people submission moves.
It's
and
true.
Film
In
it
the street.
and then send it. All right, we got a couple more. This is Nathan Cotton Coy Vance Duke.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio. This is
Cody.
Nathan Cotton Coy Vance Duke. Been a great bunch of shows recently. I always like watching along with you guys on Netflix, but I have to say I think it is just a little bit better when you guys are doing the VOD stuff. I generally haven't seen that stuff when you're reviewing it. I usually see it like when it's at Netflix or Redbox or something like that. But I like it is it's I like that you're hitting all the new hotness while it's still all new and hot and stuff. Really looking forward to seeing Baskin and The Invitation. And is it Darling? I think is the one that you're doing this week. I've heard great stuff about all three of those. Well, not everybody thought The Invitation was great, but interesting stuff. Yeah, so keep up the good work on that front. Trying to think of anything else. I like how Nicholas just like unassumingly and without malice just steps on toes and hurts feelings. I like just reviewing, or not even reviewing, but just like offering thoughts on the entire Halloween and Friday the 13th series. And just expressing like sincere, harmless opinions and hearing like, oh, and like the audible clutching of pearls by some in the studio, and the inevitable Facebook thread that comes of it during the weekend. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I know that we established last week that Michael Ravenshadow is Pantophobe's uncle. I realized sometime over the weekend that I feel like Michael Ravenshadow might be
everyone's uncle.
Enzo Amore's like cousin or something. If you take an Enzo Amore promo and you take away like the creativity or like the brevity or the charm, you wind up with Michael Ravenshadow expressing like a thought or opinion. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, last thing, a little bit off subject, certainly not like apropos of anything in particular, but I spent the past couple of weeks reading all of the Planet of the Apes titles that have been published by Boom, who is not a company I think I've read anything by, but it's all really good. But in particular, a mini-series called Betrayal on the Planet of the Apes has a foreword in it by Ed Brubaker, in which he writes that it is his favorite Planet of the Apes thing since the original Planet of the Apes, how he wishes it had been the second Planet of the Apes movie. And I'm sort of inclined to agree with him. It's I would just urge anybody who is into the original Planet of the Apes movies, or maybe even the new Planet of the Apes movies, or just good comic books, to read Betrayal on the Planet of the Apes, and then Exile on the Planet of the Apes, if they really enjoyed that. Won't take up any more of your time. Have a great show. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thank you, buddy. Bada boom, realest guy in the room over here, Ravenshadow.
Who's that guy?
I totally feel like I am watching, like, the fully realized, like, downtown John Constantine character when I see, like, Enzo. Cash. Yeah.
Well, I want to cut. What's he all about?
You may have
Look up a fucking promo, all right?
I don't know, spell it.
ENZO. Enzo.
But
that's pretty easy.
Realest guy in the room. I don't know, like, they're everything I hate about pro wrestling, but I get so excited when they start cutting that promo. Like, it really makes, like, the stuff that I don't like from, like, the Attitude Era look like almost in the same way that, like, wrestling as an art form, like, I feel is a little neater now than it was, like, in the 90s and 2000s. Their iteration of that style of WWF promo is better than like somewhere like Billy Gunn and Mr. Ass are like, well, I'm glad we were there when we were there because we can't hang with that.
So MZ hasn't really watched wrestling in a long time, but you saw that promo, right?
The Enzo and Cass?
Yeah. And you were blown away, right?
I was blown away. That was one of the best promos. And I saw the promo that they did this week, too. And
it's making the Dudleys look pathetic.
Yeah, it makes
no
it look
shit,
really
right?
bad,
And that's tough to do.
Yeah, they're like, well, you're stupid.
Yeah. I mean, if you put I think if you put Enzo and Cass against the Dudleys of, say, like ECW 1997, 1998, you would have a different story.
The stuttering Bubba?
It'd be so much more competitive. Yeah.
Well, because Joel Gertner would be with him.
Oh. And Sign Guy.
All right, we need to.
And Big Dick Dudley.
We got to wrap up because I want to end this episode so it's not too close to 4 hours. First time Michael actually left us a review on the Fib. I wanted to read that real quick. He says, I watched Baskin last night. Loved it. It definitely had that creepy Euro horror vibe that I've adored since I was a lad. This movie actually made me turn away from the screen for a bit, and that is very rare for me. The build-up was fantastic. Fulci on crack, I totally can see. Well worth the rental, but consider the company if you watch it with friends. Not for everyone. Oh, and Mehmet Sarahoglu rules. A great look.
Yeah, he's got
absolutely.
a very interesting look.
Definitely. So thank you for taking the time to write that FTM. Appreciate you giving us your thoughts. And, if you ever want to, feel free to send a voicemail. Otherwise, posting on the Fib. Email works. We love to hear from you guys. So very cool. Let's check what we have for voicemails. We got a few left. We heard from Craig T. Nelson.
Nice. TV's coach.
Yeah.
See me in reruns of Coach.
See me in reruns.
Poltergeist.
All right. Thanks, Craig T. Nelson.
That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
And Action Jackson, he was the bad guy in that.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was in Monk.
Well, I appreciate him taking the time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys know our boy Slagoth, right?
Oh.
I've heard of him.
You want to hear from him?
Sure, why not?
Today?
Maybe not.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, Slagoth.
Slagoth here, calling in just to say what's up.
Yeah, man.
Amazing to see Jenny on the show. She's really cool on the Elm Street Kids podcast.
He listens to Elm Street.
I wanted to just first off, just gotta say, Nicholas, you need to relax. Chill out, brother. We all love you.
Yeah, man.
And take a chill pill. I don't know if you drink. If you don't, maybe you should start with a shot, perhaps, or a slow sipping whiskey or I don't know.
I just
relax, man. It's all good. Mick, I love you, brother. You know the deal. Think about you every day, making sure you're all good. MonsterZero, you're the man.
Thank you.
And I don't know, Ravenshadow.
I don't either.
You need to fucking watch the movies. Watch the fucking movies.
God damn it.
But I get it, man. Hectic life.
You sense in a theme.
Time.
Work it in somehow, though. Anyway,
Johnny.
Anyway, guys, I don't know. I wanted to say something cool tonight, but I never.
You
know
are, man.
Yeah.
What to bring to the show, you know?
Yeah,
sometimes
cake.
I think I'm going to sing
Love
a
and
song or I'm going to do an impression.
Just your voice,
Usually
man.
I'm fucking exhausted, and I know I should be doing this, you know, a week in advance
Yeah, me too.
or something, or during the day. But anyway, I didn't watch the movie. I'd love to
Like
get a hold of this. It
Ravenshadow.
sounds amazing. But I guess in the end, what I really want to say is, you know, you guys are all treats to me. I look forward to getting to this show. Not every time do I get to watch it, and I really made a point today. I'm exhausted as fuck.
Thanks, man.
But anyway, you guys, love you, and I don't know, maybe I'll call on again in a second. I think it's something more important to say or something to bring to the table. Love and light with just a sprinkle of darkness.
Love it.
Thank you, buddy.
Love it. We got another one from Slay Goth. Let's listen to this one.
All right.
Okay, I thought of a couple things. Wanted to give a shout out to Patrick of
Don't do it.
Patsy.
Elm Street podcast. Amazing dude. Inspirational. Great writer. And thanks you. I want to thank you for the opportunities, man. Shout out to Cornelius Burrows, my spirit animal. And I'm so glad he's onto the show and listens, and he's part of the deal. Also, I don't know. Want to also tell you guys, you keep inspiring me. Mr. Wolfenstein, I am going to do some cool sort of ink wash over the Saint of Killers that I'm working on for you.
Nice.
And Constantine, I'm working on him as well.
I got the spot ready.
And I did Belial, but I'm going to redo it because I think it looks like a piece of lump of shit. So we'll get that right.
To be fair.
That's what Belial is.
MonsterZero. And of course, Mick, I'm going to do something pretty cool with the Madman piece. But
nice.
I'm working on the shit. I'm slowly getting it done. Jakey Poo.
Yeah.
I fucking love you.
Yeah.
When you call and you do your little shout out in the beginning, man, it just blows my mind and makes me smile and laugh. And I know I said this in a post, but goddamn, man, it makes me every time. I'm fucking usually working. I'm in the dead of just killing myself in the heat. And that shit comes on in my ears and it blows my mind and I start laughing and just, I love it. So please, I look forward to it. Keep doing that. You guys inspire me. I love the Cult of Muscle. I love Talk Without Rhythm.
I do too.
Film for Thought. I mean, these are,
Like
you
it
know,
a
I
lot.
still haven't had a chance to listen to some of the other shows, and I'm going to get to it, I promise. And I've been listening to every episode of Elm Street. And, of course,
me.
Miss Wiley, you are an amazing human. You are inspiring as well. I don't know. There might be one more fucking call if I can muster some shit up that I want to talk about.
I feel like
Cheers.
more people have to be on the business end of angry Miss Wiley before they say how good of a.
I think you're the only one
Yeah.
that gets to be.
It's bad.
For
like,
better or worse.
Like 3 minutes into the show, she makes me wish I was aborted.
Jesus. All right, one more voicemail. Let's get to this. Oh, song.
That's my joint.
Gentlemen, how you doing? Hey, Ravenshadow, how you doing?
Good, baby.
Stirring the sauce?
Yeah.
Stir the sauce. Stir it. I got a question for Wolfie.
Yeah.
Mr. Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
How about giving... I think you'll say no to this. But how about giving Ravenshadow his own podcast time?
Yeah.
Like, just give him like 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes, and it'll be about, Italian dishes and recipes, and he can talk about his upbringing and what goes on, in the Ravenshadow family dinner table. We can talk about Goodfellas, because I think that's the only movie he's ever seen. We can talk about Goodfellas every show, or he can talk about it. I think it'll be great. I mean, I would love to learn some of the recipes and learn how to make like spaghetti and meatballs and stuff like that, and calamari.
He doesn't know.
And you add Ravenshadow's humor into it. I think it'll be a fun podcasting time. Come on, Wolfie. 15 minutes.
Seriously.
A week. Dude, Ravenshadow talking about Italian food would be the most amazing thing of all time.
I'll be triumphant.
Right, Ravenshadow, come on. Stir the sauce, come on.
I'm not, lasagna.
Meatballs, come on.
Yeah,
let's do this.
Oh, shit. All right.
I'm surprised he held out as long as he did.
Talk about, my grandmother's house, the pizzelles were flowing, you know what I mean? Stella D'Or breadsticks. You know what I mean?
I can't even get you to watch a fucking movie. You're not going to look up recipes.
My mother does it.
You're going to have your mother on the show?
Yeah.
I make some fucking gelato.
Don't fucking be crass. Okay?
Cut the crass.
All right. So maybe we'll talk about that, Ravenshadow.
Cut the grass so I don't have to mow the yawn.
Jesus. We have one email. Let me get to this real quick. It's from Oily Maniac.
Love that dude.
Oily Maniac says, the subject is Dynamo is everywhere. And says, why is Dynamo on every podcast I listen to?
I don't know.
And doing an excellent job, by the way.
Thank you.
Except his own Elm Street Kids movie club.
It's true. I had to explain that two things happened.
Let me finish real quick.
Okay.
Comparisons about John Carpenter and Rob Zombie are being made that he needs to chime in on.
It's so true.
Enjoying the shows. Thanks.
So
Thanks, Oily Maniac.
You are the 1994 James Earl Jones. You know that?
I got called
Tommy
on...
Lee Jones.
I got called on not being on Elm Street Kids and ignored explaining anything till my dear friend Derek Rook asked me about it. And it really just comes down to... I didn't miss as many sessions as I did shows without peeling back the curtain too much. One of the sessions was the same weekend I had my surgery.
Yeah, when you were legit.
Yeah, when I was in the hospital, and one when my darling little niece, who's never asked me anything, walks up to me and says, "Uncle Monkey, are you going to be at my birthday party next week?"
Monkey.
Like I was going. So, and secondly, I realized through talking to a guy I've known for years. I called him because he's helping me out with some stuff around the house, and he thought my name was Mick too.
Well, it is a weird spelling that no one sees.
Totally, but it's just weird that I'm sure that people have thought it for years, and like he was like, if you said Dynamo or Mick, and I was like, why would I say Mick? And he's like, well, that's what your name is, right? Like, no. But, I mean, the reality, and Wolfie will back me up on this, that even my dad calls me Dynamo. So, it's not uncommon, but... Yeah.
To be fair, it's a really weird way to spell Arthur.
It's true. It's true.
He does love Aquaman.
I know. I do love Dudley Moore.
Yeah. All right, real quick, we got 2 tweets from Punch Farm, our buddy... He says, "Hey, Deadites, are you going to Scaricon in June? I'm considering going, and it would be awesome to meet all you weirdos." And then I told him that we were, and he said, tickets and hotel rooms secured. Looking forward to the con and meeting my favorite podcasters.
Wow.
Party time.
How many beds you got in there?
Not enough.
And what floor?
So that's fucking awesome.
That is awesome.
Punch Farm. We are going to get to hang out with Punch Farm. How
Yeah,
cool
it's
is that?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
We're the
amazing.
main attraction to that guy.
I'm gonna.
That's
No,
pretty
he's
awesome.
the main attraction. Fuck us.
That's why I'm going.
I really, and I'm gonna get moved if I say too much more than this, but I really love this community.
Yeah.
Like I really, really love it.
So that's going to be incredible. If other people are going to be at Scaricon, we would love to hang out with you guys. Let's maybe we can try to make something happen.
Let's get a whole floor. We'll just fucking
Yeah.
toe
Fucking
up.
awesome.
Yeah. Let's rent out an entire floor in the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toga up, is
All
that what
of
you
us.
said?
Yeah.
I'm moving around my life-saving radiation treatment so I can be there. So.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you can wheel it in.
All right.
Bring in an iron lung or something.
All right, we got to end this show. So
travel with one.
Next week, we're going to be joined in studio by Jarrett Blinkhorn, who you've heard mentioned a couple times. He was the producer of The Mind's Eye, and you heard Josh mention him earlier. He was helping Josh to try to secure some flicks for the Rock and Shock Film Fest, but that didn't come to fruition. But Jarrett is a very, very awesome dude, and he's a filmmaker in his own right, and he's got some really fucking cool shorts. I don't know if it's readily available.
You know.
It's not that funny. He's got short films. I don't know if his shorts are cool. Maybe we'll see if he's wearing shorts next week. But did you watch that short yet, MZ?
Yeah, I brought it back.
Okay, good.
Fucking came over my house and stole movies.
Give it to this dude.
What?
It's
no,
right,
give it to
it's
this
right
dude.
there. It's right there.
He watched some he took some porno from my house that Josh gave us. I didn't even know what it was. Titty falls or something.
That's Attack on Titan.
So that's a flick they're closing in that Jarrett had made, and I got to see it at the Boston Underground Film Fest in the homemade horror.
Well, give it to me on Saturday if you're gonna watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now the movie's a little over. The short's a little over 5 minutes long. You sure you got enough time?
I'm a very fucking busy
Actually,
guy.
you know what? Ravenshadow, since you are coming back Saturday, take it now.
Yeah.
Watch it before Saturday. And then
All right, I will watch that.
And bring it by when you come by.
Who wants to place a bet that he's not going to watch it?
I'm gonna watch
It's
it.
fucking 5.5.
I want to
Raven
place a
Shadow?
bet. Let's place a bet.
So watch it,
Yeah.
and then bring it by when you come by the Cool Kids Cave on Saturday.
All right.
How many things can go wrong with trying to play this DVD is the question.
How many things? Yeah.
I'm
what should I
waiting for
know
the
about?
fucking call that it fell in that vent.
Yeah, we can't recover. So
That was a weird fucking day.
So Jarrett is going to be with us in studio. None of us have ever met Jarrett, so it should be interesting. Should be very cool. And also, you know what? We're going to review next week. Let's just call it out. I was thinking we might do something else, but let's do Hush because it was brought up on the show.
Hush, I feel like someone's calling my name now. Hush, hush.
It's on Netflix.
Thank you.
So you know how to work that, Ravenshadow?
Oh, Hush.
Yeah, basically.
So Hush is on Netflix.
Every single. Yeah, basically.
I would pay anyone $500 to log Ravenshadow out of Netflix and see what happens.
He'll never be able to get back in.
Did anyone else see the moment I had with Wife and Shadow on the Fib the other day?
No.
I had mentioned I was conflicted about a joke Ravenshadow made, and she was like, "Try living with it."
Oh no, I did see that actually.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. All right, we got to end the show.
Straight shoot.
Jenny, thank you so much for hanging out with us and putting up with our bullshit.
Can we just have Jenny come back all the time?
Thank you so much for having me. I love it here.
Tiny's not coming back. The kid's a fucking deadbeat. He's in fucking he went to San Francisco the week that Wiley left. Like let's have, and if not, replace Tiny, one of these guys. Let's have Jenny come back all the time.
Well,
Why am I
you know what?
considered one of these guys? Why not? Why not just him?
Your, your perception is so fucking off.
We're just trying to make you
I don't
feel
want.
better.
Yeah, no.
Well, you're making
I
me
don't want to
feel
say
like
it
shit.
publicly, but if you keep blowing me, you can stay.
Yeah, someone, you have a couple of Maz bars.
I got plenty of nougat over here.
All right, so that's going to do it. Jenny, do you have any final thoughts for the folks? Any words of wisdom?
No, just keep on listening. Keep on putting your reviews on the Fib.
Yeah.
Nicholas, stand your ground.
Hell yeah.
There you go. You know it's true.
She's
Jenny
pretty
says
damn
it.
good at this whole PR. And,
She's really good.
Yeah.
We could probably she could probably do the job of two.
Yeah, it's true.
Two jamokes.
I've put my whole writing career in Jenny's hands.
It's terrifying. It's a lot of pressure.
All right, MZ, why don't you say your goodbye to the folks and any other thoughts you may have?
And keep watching the skies. Arrivederci, douchebags.
Isn't that what?
That's Ravenshadow's gimmick.
Keep watching the skies.
Don't say that.
Look to the skies.
Don't I say that on another thing?
No, you
too?
say look to the skies.
Oh, right.
That's Ravenshadow's old gimmick, though.
It's true.
All right, Ravenshadow.
All right. Well, I guess it's been said. Remember children, not somebody else. I don't know. Vaya con Diablos.
I'm the best there is.
The best there was and the best there ever will be. All right, Mars. Take us out of here, Mars Bars.
First, I apologize to Johnny Wolfenstein for getting irrationally mad over his questioning of my wrestling knowledge the other day. I was embarrassed instantly. But I really love this community. Like, it's every single one of you, every single show, every single artist, every single listener is keeping me in the fight. So thank you. And remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to episode 194 of Trick or Treat Radio. This was a fun and varied show. We had some arguments. We had some passionate voicemails.
And all on Ron Perlman's birthday.
Yeah, and we all made up and kissed at the end with DSLs. All right, well, that's going to do it. So we will see you guys next week on episode 195. We're going to have Jarrett Blinkhorn in studio. We're going to talk about Hush on Netflix. So go watch it. See ya.